Boop. I'm hoping they've all shut up about random animal facts now. But I doubt it. Well, that was annoying. Yo. Can you hear me? Not bothered about those in Gilded, but you know. Depends if they're gonna shut up on it.
Oh no.
I'll take that as a no.
So if that if that's true and we do end up having 8 roosters and 1 hen, then we may have to think about, I mean, the head teacher's own kids are not going to want to get rid of any of them, but they could end up killing each other if we're not careful.
Oh.
Welcome to D&D Streams Animal Chat.
Two of our adult roosters are already quite aggressive as it is. You know, as soon as we...
I'm feeling their pain right now.
Yeah, so Sparky, I was just saying to the others.
It's fine. It's fine.
We've got chickens at school because of the nature of our school, and unfortunately, the 3 hens we did have got massacred by a fox a few weeks ago. But the good news was the nursery then put out a message on social media, which my head teacher picked up and said, "Oh, we've got 10 chicks and we've just finished our chick hatching activity. So does anyone want these chickens?" So she said, "Yeah, we'll adopt them." So we have adopted 6 of them. Unfortunately, 5 of them we think are males. 8 roosters, 1 hen.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right, does anybody remember what we did last week?
Oh, God.
I think last week, Felmore had just finished his watch, and we were just all waking up.
Were we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we ended on the birds spiraling down in flames.
Do not remember what we did before that.
Oh yeah, we accepted the Butterskull Ranch quest.
Yes, that is
I
correct.
actually have a card for it.
That is correct. The Butterskull Ranch quest. So,
I have it in my notes.
as a bit of refresher for anybody who may be out there, or anybody who may be in here,
Yes.
we started last week in Nomi Place, Nomengard, or Nomrigan. I think that's
it was
World of Warcraft, though. You know, Nomrigan. Yeah, Nomengard. The quest to find out what this weird and wonderful shape changer was that was troubling the gnomes. They discovered the mimic. They swiftly dispatched the mimic because it seemed to be rather weak, especially against a semi-absent. Right. Interrupt me again, and I will banish you to the abyss. The power of the DM. Anyway, yes, so it was rather weak, especially due to a semi-AFK Carlton, who did masses of damage to it without even showing up.
What can I say? He's a badass.
Except you're welcome. So they dispatched that. They picked up the rewards from the kings and the gnomish tinkers there. Then they made their way back to Fandalin. Yes, we are still calling it Fandalin. I don't care what you say. And did a bit of dithering in town. Picked up a new quest to go to Butterskull Ranch, where they have to find out what's happened as it's recently came under attack by orcs. we believe. So yes, the party
Yeah.
set out on the way, traveling along the Tribal Trail. I'm still speaking here. Okay. As a teacher, I would have thought you would respect that. So yes, they made it halfway along the Tribal. No, clearly not. Are you finished? Are you finished? Are you finished? Stand in the corner. Halfway along the Tribal Trail, where they camped out for the night, because it was nighttime. Because that's what happens at nighttime. You camp out for the night, and a few random encounters with wildlife, and a bird flew over and did its business on Felmore's person. Can't remember where it got you. And then Felmore shot it out of the sky, and it spiraled down with its tails on fire and landed somewhere in the brush. So yes, you managed to complete a full long rest for the night. Say it, don't spray it. So yes, you are all well rested.
And last week, I'd like to remind everyone I made up a song about the mimic's penis.
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, yeah. And we don't have to listen to it again.
I wanted to bring something up. It's not technically
Is it your
related
lunch?
to the campaign, but I discovered something that Sparky would find interesting
You
about
say that.
Dragonborns.
That's only because sometimes I'm polite.
I just wanted to bring this up. I'm kind of glad I didn't choose Druid, or any class that can potentially have polymorph.
Why?
How come?
Because
There's
as
a
long
story
as
there.
the creature that the Dragonborn is turned into can breathe, like exhale, they're allowed to use their breath weapon.
Says who?
Whoa.
Books.
Says the DM. DM. I don't know. That would be up to the DM, surely.
That is pretty OP.
Just think of a
That can be
snake
really
or like a
OP.
mouse.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
you're just like, yeah.
obviously
Turn
it
into
would
a
be
mouse and
reduced
it's
due
like-
to...
I'm going to bring a massive fireball on you.
I
I'm a mouse.
think.
Yeah, and it would
I don't
extend
know for
about
sure,
2
but
inches
I'm
from the
pretty sure
mouse.
There's penalties,
Yeah.
but like,
Could
it's
you
still
imagine?
like it's funny to think about the Dragonborn still being able to be like fire breath or poison breath as a mouse.
Yeah. Or as a even smaller creature.
Cricket, just breathing fire as a
Yeah.
cricket.
But that's all I wanted to bring up. Thanks to D&D TikTok, I learned about that.
You can imagine how that would look if that was a video game and you programmed an insect to do a massive fireball or something.
D&D TikTok says it all.
You're not Sasuke Uchiha.
I have a lot of D&D on my For You page these days.
I know it shows a dragonborn now.
DMs, players, and rules lawyers all over my For You page.
Anybody else got any stories to tell while you're having breakfast?
So have we are we having breakfast?
You're up and Adam. You're preparing for the day ahead. So you guys prepare for the day ahead while I read up because I ain't had a chance to do it this week. Do you? Have you rolled a perception check for that?
I got 15.
15. Yeah, you notice it.
What's that on your shoulder?
24 miles.
I'm like North you.
Like, silence.
There's a surprise. There's a surprise.
Here's
So-
your sign.
It's basically sunrise early in the morning.
Oh, Evil Link's here, and he just redeemed
Oh my.
hydrate.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah.
Hello, Link.
What? Don't what?
Nobody said don't anything. I said hello, Link.
Oh right. Oh, I thought you said don't shoot.
Nope.
As if you were going to tell me not to do something.
No, I've told you lot to do your stuff, so I'm ignoring you. I mean, I'm listening intently now.
I don't have anything to really prepare, so.
Yeah, we're just strolling along.
Strolling
So-
along.
I
guess.
would like to see, I would like to see if I can find any berries.
Well, you best roll a survival check then.
Ooh.
Alright.
Survival check.
Is that our
Yes, a
first-
survival check.
I think that's our first survival check.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but it's a 6. You traveling along this path, it's fairly sparse when it comes to berry bushes and things, and no, you don't really see any as it is.
Okay.
There's just lots of grassland, so not a lot of bushes. Any they do find are all dried up.
Oh.
Alright.
More like scrub brush
I have one.
rather than fruity bush.
I don't know. I'll let you decide what I roll for it, but I'd like to
Yeah,
see
you
if
will.
there's any medicinal herbs around.
Um,
Would that be
no, I would say. Right. Are you deciding between you all? Are you? Is that what's going on here? No, it's you're
I'm
looking for
waiting
herbs.
for the DM.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
it's
DM's busy
Oh,
reading.
God's sake. DM's trying to get a word in edgeways. Right, I'm changing gilded. It would be a survival check, by the way. It would definitely be a survival
Okay.
check.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh.
Oh, nice.
What did I roll? It didn't tell me.
14. You rolled 14.
14.
That's not bad.
Yeah, as you're walking along, there are a few ferns which you think could be used later on, possibly, in some sort of medicinal way. If you wanted to gather some up.
Can I have a look around and
I
see
will.
if I can find any animals to pet?
You'd be
Oh.
incredibly lucky to find any animals to pet, but there's a chance you may find some just around. Make a perception check to see if you notice any.
Ooh,
Woohoo.
17.
17. Yes, over
Oh,
in the
wow.
distance, about 500 yards, you see a couple of deer just prancing through, heading towards the nearby Neverwinter Woods. But they're a fair way away from you at the moment. You want to do anything with them? Or are you quite happy for now? I mean, they're 500 yards away, so it would take you a bit of a deviation from your current course.
Yeah.
Get back to them anyway.
That is quite a long distance. Just saying.
As it's,
Yeah, that's
I mean, it's not a built-up area, so the chances of you encountering some more deer are fairly high. I'm just trying to figure out how far
Uh-huh.
you travelled. Okay, so anything else you want to do during the day?
I mean, Carlton basically is just sort of trying to just keep going straight or keep going on the right, what he thinks is the right path. Because if we're gonna make this accurate, to me, one of my biggest weaknesses as part of my autism is my lack of sense of direction.
It's a path you
so
find.
That could be a flaw for me.
Yeah, it's
That
a
could be a
path.
flaw.
It's one path. There is no deviation. I think you'll be fine on this one.
That being said,
No buts, I have told you.
sometimes... All right.
Do as you are
Hear me.
told.
Well, I would like to point out, just that this is Joe talking personally. Even if I am told exactly where to go and which path to go, unless I have a GPS, I can get lost very easily.
Well, suggestion then somebody else takes point.
I think you'll be okay because as a group, just because one of you is on point doesn't mean the rest of you aren't going to notice if you deviate from the well-worn path that there is only one of.
Two of us, I'm a child with the most...
Especially with your passive perception that you have. So if you'll check your passive perception, you look at your stats and it tells you.
Yeah.
So plus 0 would be your passive perception.
No, your passive perception is in the block.
Oh, I see it. I
Yes.
see it.
Yes. There you go.
Uh,
So you got passive
I get it,
perception,
right.
investigation, and insight. So that's if anything,
it.
basically, if anything's trying to sneak past you and you're not actively looking for it, they roll against your passive perception. You know, things like that. So, basically. Yeah. Left hand side, right under all your main
Senses.
stats.
It's
That's
the little
right.
square,
Left
the
hand side.
square box in the
Left.
middle on the left-hand
Left.
side.
Left.
It's right
Down.
below your saving throws.
Right,
Yeah.
where's your strength dex? No. The left-hand columns. Halfway down the page. That's still the right, that's not the left. There we go. Whew. You'd have thought he'd know his left and right by now, wouldn't you? Oh, yeah, I can't argue with that. Right, so are you wanting to do anything else while you're on your way? Because pretty much you make it
Not a
through
lot
the
to
rest
do.
of... Yeah, you make it through the rest of the day. You don't quite make it to the ranch, but you do make it all the way to Coneyberry just as the light is fading as the sun is starting to set.
Before we do, I'll just see if I can, like, passively see through games floating around.
If you're actively searching for them, that's different.
No, not actively searching.
Well, you've just mentioned you wanting to see if you can see any deer.
I know this.
You've already seen some. They were running around near the forest.
I'll see if I can find some more.
Oh my god. How often are you going to try and find some deer?
I just want to pet an animal.
Why?
Food in a child.
Well, surely as a druid, you don't particularly want to pet an animal. You want to leave nature as it is. Yes.
I
You'd have to
mean-
remind us that you're a child.
I mean, we do have a pet hawk among us. I would like to point out.
I would also like to point out that Evelyn wandered off into the wild again.
Oh, yeah, it's Evelyn, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, the ranger has the pet hawk. You've got a pet dragonborn. Does that count?
Hey!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't no one
A
pet.
pet dragonborn that doesn't like children.
No, that's the tiefling.
All
The
right.
tiefling doesn't like children.
You'll
I
get it
snap
eventually,
both
Sergio.
sides
You'll
of
get
my
it
head when
eventually.
we
Don't worry.
save.
It's a lot to learn when you first start. Oh wait, you're a pro, aren't you?
But me,
Yeah.
I've done one former campaign. For
Oh, okay,
former
okay.
Campaign.
Not pro,
Yeah,
but
it's-
amateur then.
No.
Well, that's more than some of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That is my first campaign ever.
it's Felmore that's the pro.
This is my 7th game.
Oof. 7th game. Is that all? This is session number 6, isn't it? So.
No, I mean 7th campaign.
Oh, okay. And just as a reminder, I did tweet out the stream just to let you all know.
Yeah, I retweeted it.
Alright.
Oh, that is appreciated.
Well, not retweeted. I
Did
tweeted
you?
out also.
Oh, did you retweet? I got no notifications.
No,
Anyway,
no,
anyway,
it was just a regular tweet,
that's fine.
like a shared.
So,
tweet.
DM,
Yes.
what do we see in Coneyberry? Anything significant?
Well, why don't you roll for perception? As you're riding into town,
Okay.
you see it is, well, not really town. It's more of a village. Well, it used to be a town. It is eerily silent,
Used to
except
be.
for the yes,
Oh,
it used to be.
that's a
Remember,
bad roll.
it was sacked by barbarians years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
that one.
I
Let me know
wasn't
what-
expecting to see I was only expecting to see if there were any points of interest. I know it's a ruined town.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will let you know if you see any points of interest. So if you're making any perception rolls, do please let me know.
I
yeah.
did, and I got a 4, so
Thank you.
failed.
I would like.
One thing I
would
will
like to
say
look
is-
around as well.
Yeah. See
Between
if there's any decent empty houses that we
Between
can maybe
us-
stay the night in.
between us, right? If we're making any rolls, either tell us what you've rolled, or I'll try and do it myself. I think it's just makes it a little, because if anybody's watching the stream, they can't see the rolls, which is a bit annoying. From getting it onto the stream point of view, yeah. If I could integrate it with chat, that'd be amazing. But that'd take a lot of work, I reckon. So yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, basically, all you can hear as you're sort of slowly wandering into town is the wind just whistling through all the ruined structures. You can see there's a load of burned out houses, the roofs all caved in, timbers just strewn, and rocks and all the building materials of the houses just strewn along what used to be the paths as weeds and ivy and vines growing up and around, and just helping the ruins just become one with nature a little more.
I admire that it's becoming one with nature.
Is it just Carlton that's having a look around the place, or is anybody
No,
else?
I would like to have a look as well.
Get your
Yeah, me
perception
too.
rolls in then, guys.
I see that
I'll do one as well.
I see that everyone else is looking around, so I just pretend to look around.
Wow.
So what? I type in chat my roll.
No, just
Is
tell
that
us. If you rolled it, just tell us
Oh,
what you
it's
got.
a 10. It's
10.
A 10.
I rolled
Okay.
an 11.
No, you got a 13.
Well, I got a total of 13.
Then didn't really have
I keep forgetting about the plus.
So how come yours? Oh, because it only shows. Yeah, it shows. +4. Harrison and Felmore, you guys should be making the perception rolls more often than not.
Yeah, I see that
With your
everyone
plus-
else is
with your
looking around, so I
+4s.
just pretend to look around.
I mean, maybe not so much Harrison with that roll, but hey, what can I say? So as you're wandering through, Carlton and Granny have just basically got their head down. I think that they're a bit tired from the walk, so they don't really notice anything. But who are the other two? Felmore and Malkuth, as you're gazing around the place just to see if there's any sign of anything that might take your fancy. You see a well in the distance, and there's 3 unsaddled horses just grazing
Oh my god,
near the well.
this is my moment.
Okay,
And from
I would like to go over.
as you
the
get a little bit
horses
closer, you can see they are branded as well with the letters B-A-K.
This is my moment.
Okay, do I know what BAK stands for?
I don't know, do you?
What would I have to roll to see if I do?
You would have to check if you actually knew that. Why would you roll to see if you knew what BAK stands for? Their letters.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But no, I don't know what it stands for that.
Okay.
It depends how much attention you've paid in previous sessions. doesn't it?
Ah, does he belong to Mr. Butterscale or Skull or whatever they call him?
Butterscale.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's my writing,
Butterskull.
can't read it.
Butterskull's not as is on par
don't-
with Butterskull.
I don't
in
think he
full
was
fairness.
called Mr. Butterskull, if I remember correctly.
The quest is called
don't-
Butterskull Ranch.
Okay, that's fine. The ranch is called the Butterskull Ranch, so...
So it's not.
I don't know.
I don't
You've
know
got
if
the
it
quest
actually
card.
said in the quest.
So.
Anyway, is anybody doing anything with the horses?
Okay. I cast speak with
I would
animals.
like to. I would like to try to ride the horse.
Try to ride the horse.
Okay, I cast speak with animals.
Right. Are you both doing this at the same time?
Yes.
Well,
I
you need
cast
to...
speak with animals, and I say, kick him off. And I say,
God.
just don't let him ride you.
Who said that?
Me.
And would you like to make an animal handling check, please? Well, actually, you and Felmore. Because, you know, to ride the horse, you have to
Oh my
actually...
God, I got a nat 1.
You have to actually approach it.
I got a 21.
I got a
Okay,
nat
so
1.
you manage to approach gently, carefully. You can see they're not wild because they don't mind as you approach them. So it lets you... They let you get up to him.
Both of us.
Hey.
just-
What was the brand?
Not
on
you.
them, did you say?
You were approaching
Big-
them. You were...
Oh, yeah,
What was what?
I was talking to them.
What was the brand on them, please?
B-A-K.
BAK. Thank you.
Yes, B-A-K. Back. Does that mean anything to you? I guess not. Okay, so you're at the horses. They've let you approach them. Felmore.
Yeah.
Nobody else was. He was just trying to talk to them.
Yeah, I was talking to them.
Yeah, I would like to try to ride them. Like I said.
Okay. So, are you proficient in horse riding? Do you know how to ride a horse?
I do not. Now I look
Okay.
at it.
Well, in that case, I would say make an acrobatics check for trying to get on the horse.
Alright.
Isn't this the first acrobatics check?
That's a 10.
A 10. Yeah, you managed to get on it, fine. So you're sat on this horse with no saddle, no bridle.
Okay.
So it's just a bareback horse.
How do you ride it?
With great
Just wanna
difficulty.
I guess with great difficulty, yeah.
Okay, yeah. You might want to make an animal handling check again for now riding it.
Okay.
It'll let you get up to it, but don't mean you know how to ride the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't. That's 6.
6. Yeah, you try. You try to make it move, but you literally just sort of wiggling around, and it's just kind of stood there. It lifts its head, shakes it a bit, and goes back to grazing with you just quite
I'm just-
happily
I'm
sat on its
just-
back.
I'm just stood back, laughing hysterically.
Right, go on now. I'll give it a go. I'll
good
try
lord.
that.
I
Ride a
would
horse.
I would like to attempt to get down from the horse then.
Yeah, that's fine. You figured out how to get up on it easy enough, so getting down's just as easy for you.
Okay.
So you're trying to get up to him as well then, Granny?
Yeah.
Harrison, right. Animal handling check, please. Yeah, they let you get up to him. Oh, sorry, I lied. No, they don't. They take a sniff.
Ooh.
I think it's like they can smell the alcohol on you, and they just sort of shy away and just start wandering away from you.
Well, horses are sensitive to smells.
So they don't instantly bolt because obviously they've seen you've got Felmore with the party with you, but they start wandering away.
Yeah, I'm still just stood there laughing hysterically.
Has anybody got any apples or anything in their backpacks?
No, but I can speak.
I'm staying out. I'm staying out of this one because
Yeah, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
my chainmail and weapons and shields is going to be too heavy for them anyway at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
I can't speak with animals and it lasts 10 minutes. So can I try and walk over to them now?
Is it what level spell is it?
First level.
Alright, make sure you note that down then.
I have.
Okay, let me just see what it says.
It says that it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Communication with beasts for duration.
So I think we should try and get some rope and
Right.
put it round
Ju-
their
if-
neck.
Before you do
Try and
this,
gather
before you do this, somebody's trying to talk to the.
Yeah,
Somebody's
I
trying.
said that I was approaching it.
Are you approaching?
It's
it?
alright.
Yeah, but
Should I
you've
make an animal handling check?
you've already done that. You failed it.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not. They don't want to stick around you. They'll listen to you, but they don't want to stick around you. Raises its tail and drops something on the ground. Just as it's wandering away.
So I just tell them, hey, do you want to come over here for a second?
No.
Do you want some food?
Grass, nice.
I pick up a big clump of grass. I got some more grass for you.
Grass on floor.
I just whisper to the pie, what do you think will get the horses to come over?
Not you.
Apples.
Is there no good apples?
You see its ears prick up when you hit apples,
Yes, apples.
and it just kind of looks at you. And then the other one lifts its head and looks, and then the third one lifts its head and looks.
There are three.
There are three of them. Yeah, I told you that.
Wait, is
No, I said there was three.
there apples? Is there an apple tree around here?
They're just looking at you now. Apples. Nod their heads. Shaking their ears.
They think they're like apples. Is that
I
okay?
haven't.
No. Sparky,
What?
can I make a very minor change to my inventory? Or can
No.
you?
No, why?
Alketh is naked. This entire time I have no clothes on.
Would anybody?
What?
Would anybody even notice?
Wow.
I was looking at my inventory and I realized everyone had common clothes.
Dude, seriously. what's wrong with
Malkith
you?
does not.
I mean, I don't have any common clothes. I have
You
chainmail.
have armor, but like everyone has some form of clothing, and I just looked at my equipment. I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
You've got a pole of collapsing. Let's have a look. Starting
Yes.
equipment. Equipment or gold.
The closest to clothing I have is a backpack.
Turn it round the front.
I didn't mean to divert the attention of what was going on. I just
No,
I
of
thought
course
that was
not.
funny to bring up.
Oh, okay. Rations
Time's a ticking.
have dried fruit. So can rations have dried apples?
It's possible.
So I pull out
Awesome.
an apple
Oh,
from
God
one
damn
of
it.
my rations. I'm just like, I got an apple for you.
Make another
Animal handling.
animal hand with advantage.
So 2 and then take the highest one.
Yep.
Okay, first one was a 4. Second one was a 13.
There you go.
So 9 and 18. So I get the 18 one.
Oh, good job you got the pluses. Yeah, so they all sort of trot over. Apple. Nice.
Do you want the apples?
Yes.
Here's some apples for you.
Just nips it from your hand. The other two wander over, looking expectant.
Okay, I pull out 2 more apples.
Do you have that many?
Yeah, I have 10 rations.
You mean dried apples?
Yeah, dried apples.
So they all help themselves greedily to the dried up apples that you're holding out for them.
So can I try and pet them? Or like stroke the...
Yes, you may.
So do I make another animal?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So I just kind of stroke them.
Yeah, you're just stroking them. They're just sort of, they're used to being handled. You can see they're fairly well built riding horses. I don't know how long ago that hydrate was, but So yeah,
Just ask, is it okay if a few of us can ride on you?
it just nods its head.
Can
Yes.
ask where their owners are.
Also, where are your owners? What happened?
Ranch. And it sort of just nods its head in the direction that you're going towards the Butterskull Ranch.
Oh, I think they're actually heading there as well.
We come too. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So by this time, they've nodded agreement to being ridden by some of you.
So can I just kind of hop
Do you know how to ride a horse?
Well, I mean, I'm a druid, so...
Just because you're a druid, do you know how to ride a horse?
Yeah, my parents will have taught me.
Does it say that you are proficient in riding a horse?
I don't know how to make it so that I can, so no.
Surely it's a
If I knew how to.
surely it's a proficiency.
Yeah, I'm proficient in animal handling.
Choose an option: armor, weapon, tool, language.
Yeah, there isn't a proficiency in skills for that. Oh, there is armor, weapons, tools, and languages, but I don't see.
That's annoying. I mean, you
any
would have
other,
thought that would be a.
I'm pretty sure that just falls under animal handling.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Fair enough.
proficient in animal.
Yeah. Okay, we learn as we go.
Yeah, so we'll just say that my parents taught me how to ride a horse.
Yeah, well, you rolled an 18 for your animal handling, so we'll say yes, you can manage it.
Cool.
Harrison, however, no. Just managed to fail. Felmar, tell you what, in that case, Felmar will go with your first roll, which allowed you to get to him. So we'll say Felmar, yes, you can.
Woo!
Wait, does he even know how to?
Well, it doesn't matter because there's no proficiency in doing it. So it's all about your animal handling. So that's what we've decided. I'll read.
It's just about the animal handling roll.
I'll read up on that later.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Anybody else? There's one horse left. Anybody else want to ride it?
I'll walk. I could guide it.
No, I'm out. I'll walk.
Okay. Well, it'll probably just
If
wander
the
along with.
horse lets me, I could put loosely put a rope around it and help guide it.
Do you have any rope?
I mean, I have a chance because I've got decent animal handling. However, I don't really need to right now.
Yeah. To be fair, that they're not saddled, so jumping on its back with chainmail and what have you might
Well,
not be a good
That would probably
idea.
hurt the poor thing.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
Actually, yeah, I have some
So-
rope on me, so could I try and just like loosely wrap a bit of rope?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
So would that use up the rope, or could I get it back afterwards?
It depends. Are you using the whole rope, or are you wanting to take some just specifically?
I
Take some.
just some of it.
I would say you'd use up about 10 feet of the rope.
Yeah, 'cause it's not like I'd use 50 feet to ride a horse.
Nah, you probably use about 10 feet, looping it round and getting it all tied up and stuff.
Oh, cool! If you click on the rope,
But-
you can see how much hit points the rope it has.
Oh my days.
God, my rope has 2 hit points.
Yeah, it's a
So
common
yes,
rope.
as you got into town, the sun was starting to set. So
Okay.
now you've discovered the horses, and you've sort of claimed temporary ownership of them. What are you gonna do?
Well, I
What
think
time
we should
is it now?
tie them up and go to sleep for the night.
Yeah, what time is it now? Where are we at?
Where whatever sunset is, let's say, sort of 8-9 p.m. something like that.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Probably call it.
time to camp and call it a night then.
Yeah, good idea.
I agree.
Good.
So is anyone going to be taking watch, or
I'll take the
I'll
first
take
watch.
first watch.
can I also just
Okay.
take first watch?
Success.
Yeah,
don't
I
have to-
think
don't have to-
you took first watch last time, didn't you? So I'll do first watch this time.
Just on your own.
So is that 2 of us? 'Cause-
I'll take second watch then.
I was also going to take second watch, but
Well, there's 5 of you, so it depends how you want to do it.
I'll take last watch.
So Carlton, Felmore,
Yeah,
Gioa.
yeah.
Any more for any more?
I had
Yeah.
said at the same time as Carlton that I would take first watch.
Okay, you two can both go first watch. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll join you for last watch then.
Cool. Right.
Geo.
So-
I was about to say it wouldn't be smart to leave a child. in charge of what-
And especially not with
Especially
you.
if there's a campfire.
Right, Carlton and Malkuth, if you guys want to,
Roll perception.
just for the sake of it, roll for perception for your first watch.
Okay.
We'll also do a long rest.
At the end of
Ooh.
it, yeah, unless you manage to have a
Right.
fight.
I got a
between-
14.
Looks like we both rolled 14.
Yeah. okay.
Oh!
Your watch passes without any incident. There's there doesn't look to be a lot left of the town. As you sort of, keep an eye around the camp, there's not one building that hasn't been reclaimed by nature or is ruined in some state or other. There's not a lot left. It's been that long since it was sacked. There is a path leading south of town, as well as the one heading east, but you may have information about that already. Some of you that make notes or have a better memory might have information about that
Yeah,
already.
the ranch is east of the ruined town.
Yeah, it's 5 miles.
I think the other way goes to that thingamabob.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
ruins,
thingamabob,
there's a
yeah.
ruins temple there that we heard rumors about.
Oh yeah.
You said
Yeah, that thing.
you said there was a path to the south, right? I'm trying to make sure I have everything written down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, path that leads south out of the town. Yeah. So yeah, your two's watch passes without incident. So
Cool.
on to Felmore.
All right. I'll Seven.
7. Yeah, nothing
Oh
happens.
god.
Nothing happens. You just sit there reading a book, concentrating on your research notes from previous expeditions and explorations you've been on. But nothing happens to you while that goes on. You manage to stay clean this night.
Can I just quickly say?
Ah, lovely.
Can I just quickly say? Sparky's really good at storytelling.
Is he? I'm winging it, you know that.
Well, you also are pretty good at making us think something bad's gonna happen, which is honestly
the fun bit.
keeping us on our toes, which is nice.
But yeah, Sparky, the best way to be a DM is winging it. Don't go straight for the book.
Oh god, no. No,
In
I've
the
got notes in the book. I've got it open in front of me, so it tells me what happens, and I just expand on it.
Yeah.
I tell you something. If none of you have watched, I've not really watched any other D&D streams apart from the one Meteorine's done, and that was good fun watching that. To be fair, but watching Critical Role and watching these professional actors, professional voice actors, just tell the story between them. You can learn so much just by watching that, and it's
I mean,
bloody
I
good
can
watch as
understand
well.
that. I might give that a watch. I mean, if you either have time at some point, you should also listen to the podcast Dungeons and Daddies.
I've
So fun.
I've heard of that one on the old tweeters. I think we follow them on Twitter, so yeah. I'm just trying to blitz through up to the end of campaign 2 because they've just finished it now.
Yep.
And I'm on episode 48 out of 143, so I've got a few to go. But anyway,
little bit.
yeah,
I
derailing.
think I've been doing too much then.
Yeah, you tell me you skip. You tell me you skip bits anyway. You skip main story when they're just all sat around talking. That is the role play. Just saying. Anyway, right, moving on. It's Gioa and what's her face, Harrison.
Wow.
What is it? A perception check?
Yes. And the thing is, you guys are picking up on things like this as well, because normally you camp for the night. I'd be like, right, do you want to do watch? This time it was like, right, what watch are we doing?
15.
GG, that's a good roll. That, yeah. So as you are just sat there, you've had your sleep for the night. You're feeling quite awake. You don't see anything happening throughout the town either, to be fair. And you watch.
Doing it, I just kind of walk around the town admiring the plants and how well they've like adapted to the
Yep,
ruins.
and you see there are plants. There are many different types of weeds growing through the ruins. Lots of grass just sprouting up between the cobbles, on the paving cobbles. It's just finding any nooks and crannies, as nature has wont to do, even in a well-lived house, that you just can't be bothered to do any weeding with. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, and
Is
yeah,
that a hint or something?
only to my own house, yeah. You should see the state of the drive, Granny, when you get through later on this year, because it will happen. You know it will. What was that? BRB, just as everyone's about to start waking up, as their watch passes, nothing happens, and that is, you've made it through the night, you've completed your long rest. It's the start of a new day. So if you actually all want to do any eating or stuff, I would recommend you mark off your rations from your equipment as you're making your way through them.
Yeah. I'll
Like-
eat one ration.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
keep
I mean,
getting.
it's a day's worth if you don't
Yeah.
want to suffer any endurance consequences.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, you know how it works.
Time to go like refill everything as well.
Go refill everything.
Yeah, my bottle's empty.
I mean, if you want to do that,
Yeah, I'm just going to go refill
just
the bottle.
just as we decide, you know, what we're going to. Right, as he's wandered off to go fill his water bottle at any possible nearby stream, which happens to not be there. He's having a look around anyway to see if he can find one.
Well, there's the well. Is the well dry?
The well's dry.
Just because
yeah.
the place is ruined. Okay.
Yeah, the well's dry.
I was gonna say just because it's a ruined town doesn't necessarily mean, but DM says it is. It is.
Yeah, it's true. It's full of rocks and things that the barbarians threw down there when they ransacked the village, town, whatever.
Well, that's one way to stop a village from rebuilding itself. Cut off its water supply.
Exactly.
Is there any rivers nearby or anything like that?
The nearest river, if you check your world map, is the one that runs through Neverwinter Wood.
Ah.
So yeah, it's
Ah.
it's a good
That's a little bit away.
20-30 miles
Yeah.
away, depending on what
Yeah, just
turn
a
of the river
little.
you aim for. For where you are now, maybe about 15 miles away.
Not a
Yeah.
fan of that place to the south of the on the map. Mirror of Dead Men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does sound pretty intimidating, doesn't it?
That's dead
Tiny
things
bit.
I'm back.
in the
I
water.
think I pronounced that right.
It's dead. There's faces in the water. You haven't done anything. They've just contemplated if there's a river nearby. And we've decided, no, it's 15 miles away.
I ate one of my rations
Good.
for the first time since we started.
Yeah. To be fair, you've been having meals at the inn, so you know you've not really spent a lot of time.
Needed to.
Yeah, camping out as such.
Can we just say that Gio tried to find a river but decided that wasn't what he was
Yeah.
So, are people ready to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got horses this time as well.
So yeah, 2 of you were riding, was that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, correct.
I'm riding because my little child rides it.
Yeah.
Well,
Enjoy
careful you
getting-
don't hurt-
The
careful
horse
you
is-
don't hurt your bum and get a rash sitting on a horse without a saddle for too long. Just saying.
You know
Yeah,
if,
your tailbone's gonna be
you know well enough by the description. You've not got far to go now.
Yep,
Yeah, I
yep.
think it was like only 5 miles.
Yeah.
See.
So, on our way to Butterskull Ranch, then we
Same
go.
marching order.
I'll go front.
You're heading the lead. Okay.
I'll go middle.
I'll stay in the back.
I'll go behind Carlton.
Okay, so Carlton, Gioa, Malkuth, Harrison, then Felmar, yes?
Everyone prepare
Yeah.
for a fight.
And then Gioa on a horse and Felmar on a horse. Who's leading the other horse?
Oh, I was leading a horse.
Fair. Okay, right. If you want to make a wonderful perception check, then Carlton, as you set off on your way, you've taken down the camp, you've packed your stuff away, you've
14.
you've rolled there. Just, a couple of miles out of there, you can sort of see the grasslands starting to get a little bit more fertile. There's a lot more greenery around the place. You can see off over in the distance. It looks like there's some fields and things propping up, and just over in one of the fields, you can see a cow. Just stood there grazing away.
What are you going to
Just
Okay.
a couple of hundred feet off the trail as it stands, sort of
Does
to the
rest of us see
north of the
cow?
path.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Did the rest of
Well,
us-
Carlton's spotted it because
Okay.
he's in lead. So
I spotted it, so I will point that out because that is curious. That's the only life form that we've encountered.
life form.
As soon as I run a horse,
outside
does that-
outside the horses.
Yeah, as soon
And
as I
then
run a
just
horse-
to the south, you see a few xenomorphs.
Yeah, of course we do.
Someone once he
Um,
hears about the cow goes, food.
So,
Wow.
Carlton decides to head over and approaches the cow.
I jump
Okay.
Carlton. Wait, as soon as I run a horse, does that mean I can go faster than 30 feet?
Well, the 30
We're
feet
walking,
doesn't.
so
The 30 feet doesn't really
know,
make
I-
much of a difference at the moment. It's just your speed you would go at. If you want to make a gallop, you might want to do an animal handling check if you want to try and do that. There's a chance you might scare the cow off if you couldn't gallop
I
towards it.
really would do
24.
that. No. Oh,
I start
okay.
galloping towards them.
Right, as you get a little bit closer, can you make an animal handling? No. There's, yeah, another one. If you want to try and slow down before you get to the cow. No, I'm doing too many. You managed to get it into a gallop, so you'll be able to slow it down well enough. So, yeah, that's fine.
So,
I'm probably doing too many checks now, but I'm learning as well, you know.
And then when I get close
Fine.
enough to the cow, I just slow down. So I'm just like,
It just
Okay. So
it seems
I'll,
fairly placid. It's just chewing away on the grass. Just looks up you, and then just goes back down. While you're on the horse.
no, I mean, I'll get off the horse and then go and pet.
Okay. Feel free.
Yay.
Yeah, you walk up. It doesn't even care. As you get up to it, you can see again. This one is branded with the same initials, BAK, and it's got a cowbell tied around its neck.
What? Did you just say it's got a cowbell?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no.
Right.
Give right
No.
now. I
Can
want
try and
it.
get the cowbell?
No.
Can I just try and get under and jangle the cowbell?
You can try.
Cool.
You can certainly try.
What kind of a check?
I want that
No, you're fine.
cowbell. I really want that cowbell.
Dang-lang-lang.
Yeah, I just kind of wobble the cowbell a bit.
It just kind of, shudders, shakes a little bit, and just sort of wanders
So,
off to go and chew some grass somewhere else.
Although Giora is obviously closest, Carlton's walking behind and notices the cowbell and wonders if
Evening, Zool.
the cow. Sorry.
Talking to chat, saying evening to Zool. Next time I'll do this.
Wonders if the cow would mind if I removed the cowbell from its neck.
Oh my god.
Before he gets there, Harrison's run across, used his thieves' tools, and nicked it.
Hey!
Wait. My
What?
spell slots have
Right.
recharged, seeing as I've had
What?
long rest. Does that mean I can speak with animals again?
What's going on? So
I wanna cast
you wanted to ask it if you could take the bell.
Okay, I wanna cast speak
Oh,
with
no,
animals.
I can't ask it because
I
I'm not a
can-
druid, so
I
I can't
can
speak
ask-
with animals. However, hang on.
Okay.
So, what I am
I'm just
going to
standing on the
do
path. watching this
is
happen.
Oh no! Wait, I can use speak with animals because I've got the oath of the ancients, so I do have speak with animals. So I cast speak with animals,
Right.
and I ask the cow. Well, first I say, "Hello, I'm Carlton. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
What's your name?"
Petunia.
Yes, that is an excellent name. Okay, Petunia, could I possibly have the cowbell that is round your neck? Because I am actually a bard, and that would be a nice, very nice addition to my musical instruments.
I don't care.
Yay! All right, Carlton carefully
DM has
removes the cowbell
Yeah, it's-
from
It's just on a
the
simple
cow's neck.
leather strap, like a belt around its neck.
All
So
right.
yeah, it's just easy enough
So
to undo.
Carlton removes the cowbell from its neck, and now I'm going to add that to my equipment. And Carlton also asks, so I noticed that you have BAK on your. We spotted some horses with the same letters. Do you know? Can you tell us what that means?
It's our owner.
Oh, the one from the ranch, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And can you tell us the owner's name? What does BAK stand for?
Owl? It's not a very smart animal.
Okay.
Ow. Okay. Why don't seeing as I've still got speak with animals, I guess we could ask the horses. We know one of the letters is owl. So
It actually says
I
the last two.
I say to Patricia, thank you for your
Petunia.
for your help.
Petunia.
Yeah, I say to Petunia, thank you. Okay. And then I ask the horses. I head off and back to the rest of the party, and I ask the horses.
By the time you get back, the spell's probably faded.
Wait, aren't I right next to him riding a horse?
Well, you
Right.
were, but you know.
I stay.
Yeah.
I still stay.
So
I know, but he said he was heading back to the other horses.
Giora's horse. Before the spell fades, I ask Giora's horse then. What do you know what the other two letters stand for? We know one of them stands for owl.
It's
and,
a big owl.
Big owl. Okay.
Yeah, I think it
Thank-
says on the back.
Yeah, he said that 2 minutes ago.
Owl Fawn.
All right. Thank you.
Kalazorn.
And
Owl Fawn Kalazorn. Good. AK.
bye. All right. Bye,
So
Petunia.
it probably stands
See
for
you
Big Al
later.
Kalazorn
You
or
notice
something
as-
like that.
Petunia starts following you.
Okay. Oh, you want to come with us, Steve, Junior?
Yes.
All right then.
Okay.
Alright, so
Sparky. Can I ride on
Filmer
Petunia's
whispers
back?
under his.
I mean,
what did
you
he
can
say?
try.
Can I ride on Petunia's back?
Oh my god.
So
You can
Bad
try.
Would
idea.
that be an animal handling check?
Yes, it would.
Okay. I rolled a
So after
20.
Filmer.
This is a real-
So
To be
after
fair-
Filmer sees that Petunia is following.
Hold on, just
he
wait a
whispers
minute.
under
Just
his breath.
wait a minute. We're doing something right now. Thank you. So, little Gioa, you managed to, with a bit of a struggle, climb up onto the back of the cow. You don't really have a lot to hold onto, so you just have to put your arms around the sides and your legs around the sides as you hold on. I mean, if the cowbell was still on it, you might have been able to manage that, but hey. But yeah, you managed, but you don't seem to be able to guide it anywhere. It's just following along after Carlton. Felmore.
Yeah, Filmer whispers under his breath after seeing the cow following. Ah, yes, fresh meat is best meat.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So, all right, we head back to the party, and I say to everyone, well, we've met a new friend. This is Petunia, and she'll be joining us. Spell's worn off now, so I can't talk to her. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's gonna be I'm looking forward to that. And before anyone asks, no, we're not going to eat her.
Yeah, and I just,
How much there is?
I'm just sat there and I hug Petunia, just saying, no one's eating Petunia.
Filmer gives Carlton a death stare after hearing no one's eating her.
I noticed that, and I say,
Do you?
what?
Do you?
She's our pet. Well, okay. What do I notice?
Do you do it while he's looking at you or not, Felmore?
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. You do
Well,
notice then.
All right. Well, I say, what? She's very nice cow.
She's very nice
Not
cow.
gonna-
Yeah, and during this, I'm just hugging Petunia, just like, no one's gonna eat Petunia. I know I can't speak Christian. I know I can't speak Cool, but still.
Well, not at the moment.
Yeah, not at the moment, so.
She's just happily wandering around, following Carlton. So what are you doing now?
All right. We head.
All right.
in that
Guess we
case.
continue.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah,
don't take
head off
don't take
to,
much longer. Maybe about another 20-30 minutes, and you sort of see the start of what looks to be a ranch towards the north of the trail. So yeah, Butterskull Ranch occupies a large plot of land on the north side of the Tribal Trail, nestled between two hills. Beyond a ramshackle wooden fence stands cornfields, an apple orchard, gardens, and pasture land. A path breaks off from the trail to lead to a two-story farmhouse next to a pond. West of the farmhouse are the charred remains of a barn and smithy that have been burnt to the ground. You can see pigs just wandering through the fields, just as if they've, they were in somewhere else, but now they're just free roaming through the fields.
Can I just lead
Right, so-
the horses to the apple orchard?
You can certainly try.
Can I just like lead all the horses?
I
to
mean,
the apple
do you remember why you came here?
Yeah, to okay. Orcs have attacked Butterskull Ranch, 5 miles
We-
east of Coneybury along the Tribal Trail. Travel there with haste, assess the damage, and help in any way you can. So we
Right.
essentially just need to help.
before we get any further, and it's a bit early tonight, but I'm just gonna go grab a quick break because I don't know about the rest of you. My drink's out. I need to turn this fan up because it's
Mine's
warm in
almost
this.
out.
Yeah, it's warm in this room,
I'm
and yeah, and then we might have a busy second half.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't like you saying that. I feel like you're gonna drop like a ton of orcs or goblins or something on our hat
Yeah.
soon.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's only. I mean,
Ogres.
we'll be right back
Over.
after these short messages.
Excuse me! no,
You can't just no.
you can't just leave like that. No!
Freaking.
Guys, we're fucked. Guys, we're fucked.
The good news is Malcolm finally has closing.
As Gordon Ramsay would say.
Yeah.
You realize that means we fought the mimic world Malcolm doesn't need.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, that's bragging rights right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you can put that on your future. What's an adventurous? I thought to win it while naked.
Oh my god, that means that we fought the ashes
Oh no. God damn it, no. Why would you put that image in my head? Oh no. No.
I don't know. I'm a bit speechless right now. I know I'm not.
Because, like,
Wow.
my equipment has not had that in there since we started.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go grab some water because my hangover is killing me.
that and you want to get away from that imagery, don't you?
Yes. Exactly. Be right back.
Wow. I definitely think we've got to be clipping all of these. All of these. Because yeah, that's just this is brilliant.
Well, as a monk, anything that's classified as armor, I seem to get some form of disadvantage.
Yeah.
Like,
MSC.
I have better movement speed when I'm wearing just regular clothes.
Yeah. Typically
Like-
they wear robes, don't they?
Robes, kind of like almost ninja garb. If anything that really falls under monk.
No. Something I started thinking about because we just heard that she has been naked this whole time, right? Does lizard folk have boobs?
Depends.
Because they're cryptid, they're reptilian.
Hang on, let's find out. Dragonborn 5e official art.
I mean, my character, because my character's a
Well,
paladin.
technically, I'm
my
not
character's
lizard
a
folk
wizard.
either. So.
Does Dragonborn have?
Forgotten Realms wiki. I'll put that. Oh look, it's only showing me the male.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So apparently, it's a whole controversy about whether or not Dragonborn should have
Oh my
breasts or not.
god. Wow. Because of course
So-
there is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing.
Wow, of course there's a controversy about that.
I'll
Of course.
blame.
But according to official art, they do. But it's caused an entire controversy.
Yeah, because if you look, at the video game Neverwinter, their character models have them as well. Not very noticeable, but they're there.
Yeah. But apparently, it's a whole thing.
Well, the funny thing is, though, technically they don't have nips.
No, they don't. That's true. But
Like,
yeah,
a Dragonborn could theoretically just go topless, and no one would really give a crap because, as far as they're concerned, their natural scales would count as the armor.
but yeah.
You don't want to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Let's just say you do not want to know. I mean, you'll probably find out if you watch it back. Quite an entertaining conversation.
Yeah,
I
so
would
yeah,
say
now we know
Interesting.
this. But, apparently that's a giant conversation people are on about. Why? I don't know.
Because
Well,
people
I
have
guess-
nothing better to do.
I
That's
guess
true.
it's like, you know, it's often there's debates about, you know, representation and things. I guess it's something similar. And,
Oh,
objectifying
okay.
women.
So yeah, I get better stats if I don't wear armor. Woohoo!
Because there's a few shows. I mean, you know, representation of LGBTQ and disabilities and things is generally getting better. There
Mhm.
are some rubbish
Yeah.
examples, but
I mean,
there's always debates on, oh, this character isn't truly trans, or this character isn't truly gay unless they do this, blah blah blah. There's sometimes that stuff can happen.
I hate the sentence. I really do hate the sentence. This character isn't truly gay, or for that matter, trans. Because you can't
Anyway.
define other people.
Yeah, I think as
Yeah,
far as
it
characters
just
go,
can
just
sometimes
to
happen.
wade in on this conversation, as far as characters go, I think the character is in control of the person who created
Yeah.
said character, so they play it how they want to play it, and they perceive
Oh, yeah.
it and describe it how
Yeah.
they want to. So I think it's
Yeah,
entirely down
exactly.
to them.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
A good
that's what I'm saying.
A good
see, a vid-
example, 'cause being on the autistic spectrum, I'm very interested in how well disabilities and autism is represented in various media, and there's some great examples recently. One really bad example is Sia's film music, and there was she had a bit of a social media meltdown when people called her out on the bad representation, and she actually insulted the Minecraft community manager, saying, "Oh, maybe you're just a bad actor."
Oof.
I mean, she got herself
Yeah.
a lot of water for that.
But what about shows like The Good Doctor, where we have a main character that is hardly
That's-
actually autistic?
Yeah,
And not
that's
just on the
that's
low end.
good. That is very good representation.
I
that
really
and-
enjoy The Good Doctor. It's a really good show.
From what I've
and
seen
I
for
really-
clips, it is good.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
that's an example of good representation. That and the English drama, The A Word, as well. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to derail
and
the
I guess-
conversation because it is relevant and interesting. But
Oh,
are
we
you
gotta
going to
get
save
on
the
with our
ranch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
all I heard
well-
before he left was, oh no, oh wait, no, it wasn't like that. Which makes me think, ogre, and also, earlier today, he got out like this big mini figure, and just like, we're gonna need this.
What? It's fun.
Sparky,
It's
are you
fun.
planning on killing us or something?
End the campaign so we can move on to his.
No,
No,
I need more time to do that. That's fine.
Sparky be like, okay,
think-
I don't like Fillmore anymore. He's gonna die now.
Any more? Who said I, did
think
to start
what we
with?
should do, right? I think we should explore the because the most important thing is the charred remains of the. That's probably where all the trouble is. So I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I think we should head straight for the charred remains of the the hut or whatever.
The barn.
Barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take the horses over to the apple orchard first.
Barn and smithy. So,
I'm just like, I'll meet
I
back
would
up
like
with
to
you
go
in a
to the
second.
farmhouse.
Okay, right. As the trail carries on, you see it just carries on east, but it veers off to the north to actually head towards the pond and the buildings, and bisects all the cornfields. So you see some cornfields to the east as you're travelling through, and some to the west, and the orchard itself is just beyond some gardens on the west side, with all neatly rowed apple trees, all I don't know, about 5 to 10 rows and columns of apple trees, just all neatly lined up, equally spaced in between them as well. It's a well kept
Wow.
orchard. Yeah,
Yeah,
very much so.
I'm just gonna take the horses over there and then join them in a sec.
Okay, so there's fences which sort of keep people from going across the cornfields, but once you get past the cornfields, you can just go straight across the gardens to the orchard. So Gioa's gonna
Okay.
disappear off to the orchard. The path itself carries on. It splits east again to go towards the farmhouse, and west around the pond to go to the destroyed barn. And the pond is right in front of where it forks, sort of like that, basically.
I would go
Right.
like to go and explore the farmhouse.
You want to go straight to the farmhouse? The farmhouse itself doesn't look
personally-
damaged.
I mean, we should all go together, but personally, I really think we should check out the destroyed place first, because that's where that's where probably things.
Well,
Oh,
surely
yeah,
the
true.
farmer will know himself where the trouble is at.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Go to the
Okay.
farmhouse and ask about it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right,
Right,
we'll go
so
to the farmhouse
Gioa's
first.
leading the horses, or well, leading two of the horses, I assume, because Felmore's riding the other one. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll hop off the horse right before we enter the go to the farmhouse.
Okay. So, right, just let me know what you all doing, because Gioa's wandered off to the orchard and just left you all,
Farmhouse.
and the rest of you are heading towards the
okay.
farmhouse.
I guess.
We're going to the farmhouse.
So you're gonna leave him in the
I
orchard.
guess, I
Yeah.
guess the rest of us are heading to the farmhouse then.
Can I
Okay.
just add a few apples to my inventory?
Well, you're
Little
heading to-
thief.
so you're basically
Yeah.
wandering over to the orchard as these guys are wandering over to the farmhouse. So they'll get to the farmhouse at the same time that you'll get to the orchard. So you just have to sort of wait for now. So. Ah, okay. So,
Okay.
what's the marching order that we've got going on here?
Be
I'd
in
say
the middle.
Point.
You take you
Uh,
same
I'll
as it
be in
was.
the back, since
Is
I'm
it same as it
ranged.
was before? Just Gioa is not
Yeah.
Yeah.
behind. Okay, that's fine. So, do you want to just make a quick perception check, Carlton?
Oh,
See
that's not
you
what I
can-
thought you were gonna
No.
See what you can see.
14.
A 14.
Seems
There
to be
isn't
rolling a
anything
lot of
for
14s today.
Ration.
Wait, is that
anything.
everyone or just Carlton?
I was just Carlton's. He's taking point, basically. Unless anybody wants to
Just double
assist. Unless anybody wants to assist with
I'll
keeping an eye out. Okay, make another roll. You can do it with
I
advantage.
mean, I rolled a 14,
Oh, wait.
so, you know.
So
No.
now rations
Oh.
instead of...
Yes,
Excuse
just
me.
like one day's worth. So as you sort of casting your eye around the place, you're being wary because of the whole entire reason that you're here. You can see off to the west the smoking remains of the barn, as the roof itself has sort of, on one side, it's just crumbled in upon itself, and it's just barely holding up on the far side, but all charred timbers and just a collapsed roof, with smoke still coming from it. So you know it's not recent, but it's not old that it's been burnt out.
Yeah.
Between the farmhouse and the barn, you can see scattered corpses. There are 2 orcs just lying dead, and there are 5 humans, and they're all just swarming with flies.
Ooh.
Wow.
So what do you want to do?
Okay. Let's. I guess we go investigate the corpses first then.
Okay. Who's gonna do the investigating?
I will.
Yeah, because I'm pretty low on that.
Yeah, I would like to investigate one of the corpses as well.
Do you want to do it individually, or do you want to assist one of you assist the other?
What's your investigation? I've got +1.
I got +1.
I've got
I got
+2.
+4.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's his
Alright.
lucky stat rolls, you see.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so who said they got +4?
Felmore.
That would be me, Felmore.
Okay, cool. So I guess I'll keep watch while you investigate then.
Right, so
Alright.
Felmore, are you being assisted by anybody, or
Yeah, I'll help him.
okay?
Harrison should assist.
Investigate with an advantage.
Nice one.
Yeah,
That's 20.
it is. Yeah, it's a 20. As you trying to investigate, the smell is definitely decaying corpses. You can tell by the fact that there's this many flies around them. They've been here for a little while now, just laid in the open air. It is not a pleasant smell.
Okay.
So you get it, try and, patting them down as much as you can, but there is literally nothing of value on them. There is nothing left. It looks as if they've been basically stripped down of anything that they had and just left.
Okay, I relay this information to the rest of the party.
So,
Okay, well,
Gioa, have you gathered your
I
apples and
guess
things?
we
Okay, so what are you
I
going to
guess
do
we
after you
head
get
inside
1 minute?
then.
Because it's taking you a little bit of time to pat down and investigate these. So, Gioa, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna head back.
You're heading back to him. So, right, the time it's taken you to investigate these corpses, Gioa is now back with the party. And Petunia has followed you up to the fields, but she caught the whiff of the dead bodies pretty much the same time as you saw them, and she's not really interested in following you around dead bodies. She's wandered off into the cornfields and just happily munching away on some hay.
Fair enough.
Because why not?
Okay, well,
Guys.
sure. Let's head into the
Darth Vader?
house then.
Oh, Darth Vader's here. What is thy bidding, my master?
Into the farmhouse we go.
Alrighty.
Should we not knock on the door to see if Al is here and
Knock
not
on the
just
door.
walk
Hey,
in?
you bloody wait a minute.
Yeah.
So as you're getting closer to the farmhouse, you see it's a 2-story log building with a pitched
Okay.
roof, so like there's shingles on the roof and a stone chimney. Wooden doors of fairly set wooden doors with big iron handles and hinges. Windows have got shutters, nice wooden shutters on them. All the shutters are currently open. But you can hear quite
But that's
loud.
you.
You can hear a loud sneeze coming from somewhere near. Oh, you turn around, it's just one of the party. You can hear the sounds of quite loud. It sounds like a really rough party going on inside. Not the sort of party that you would normally attend, but you know, there's quite a din. It's
Okay, wow.
Like, we burst through the door and be like, we heard a party going on.
I think maybe I should use my stealth and go inside and see what's going on.
Oh my god.
Good
Oh my
idea.
god, this would be an amazing time to use one of my new spells.
Are you just going straight up to
Actually, no, we should probably knock on the door first.
where the door
Okay, guess we're not knocking on the door.
Are you going straight up to the door where the path leads to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you what, all of you together, or are you sending Harrison stealthily ahead?
Always want. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, he is a rogue.
okay, I have the perfect spell for this occasion.
Oh.
Invisibility. I can turn a willing person or creature invisible until they attack or cast a spell. Or for an hour if they don't do either of those within an hour.
What are you doing?
So, should I use
Yeah.
invisibility?
Well, let me see how I go on my stealth roll first.
Okay. If you do a terrible stealth roll, then I'll cast invisibility as well.
Well, if you're stealthing up to it, you're not going to just stand there and stealth. If you're making a stealth roll, you're walking to the door. Okay.
Yes, I am walking to the
Right.
door.
Stealth your way towards the door. Okay.
Ooh.
So what did you roll?
19.
19.
19. Thank you for broadcasting that. Appreciate it. It's good for the people watching. So yeah, you managed to find just a few little shadows, just from where the position of the sun and the actual where it is behind the building. It casts a bit of a shadow. So you creep around. You manage to avoid making any sound with your feet. So you creep up to the door. It's just up a little set of steps, and the door's right there in front of you.
Is the door closed?
The door is currently closed.
Right. Is there any windows nearby that I could possibly look through?
The nearest window is sort of off to the west, about 10 feet away.
Right, I'll
There's also one to
make
the...
my way slowly to the window then.
Okay. Right, so you creep to the window. It's just a little, about 4 feet up. So as you're crouching down, it's just above your head.
And I'll have a look through the window, see what if I can see anything that's going on inside.
So let me just double check something. Darth Vader's back. Where does it tell me that stuff? Oh, there it is. Okay, that's fine. Right, so as you peep through the window, you can see it looks like this is probably the kitchen. It's rather a large room. 1 minute. Don't know if you can see it on here. So basically, this area here. So, kitchen.
Right.
You can see that.
So and there's I can't see anybody or anything in the kitchen.
Do you want me to carry on?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, go on.
Sure then. Let me get my box of tricks. So yeah, you see sort of a cabinet against that far wall. There's a table just in the middle there, and scattered around there are all sat around the table. You can see 4 orcs in there. It looks
Right.
like they've got mugs, just mugs of ale, and one of them is just ransacking through all the rest of the shelves and stuff, and they're all sort of just completely oblivious to whatever else is going on. Let me just double check.
Right.
So yeah, and there's another
Um,
door.
We had
There's another door just
Did you
over
say
on
that?
the on this side.
Right,
here.
sorry.
There's another door
Yeah.
just here. Yeah.
Right. And the main door is where?
It's
To the right of me.
right here. So yeah, the window's about here.
Right. Yeah.
And the main door is here. If
Yeah.
you can see that on stream.
And the main door leads into the
The
kitchen.
main door leads into the kitchen. Yep.
Right. And is there a window at the other side of the door?
There's one further down. It's about same distance
Right.
away, and then one further down
I'll
from
go
that.
and have a look through that one then.
Okay. Right. Let me just see if I can find another one. Okay. So, as you creep away, you just want to make another stealth check for me as you're sort of heading back down a different direction. Are you keeping this all to yourself for now? You're not relaying it, shouting it back to the party, are you?
I've just got a 13.
13. Yeah, that's fine. For the
Yeah.
amount of noise that they're making, I'll allow it. So yeah, there's another 2 tables.
I'll just hand signal back to them to say how many that there's in the kitchen. How many orcs there are.
And I just say, what does that? I just say to the party, what does that mean?
So there's another 2 tables in here. One's up to the rest of the party. There's 2 orcs just sat around one table in there.
Right.
You can see another door. And then one at the back as well.
Okay, well, I try and motion to Harrison a neck. I try to ask Harrison with hand signals. Are you gonna cut its neck? So I do like a hand signal, motioning slit its throat, and give him a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right, well,
It's
I
up to
was
you,
going
you
to
can-
walk round to see if there was another door in because it looks like
So
it
you're-
could be slightly outnumbered going into the kitchen.
Okay, so you want to go further around?
Oh, you don't say so.
Wait, 2 versus 5.
No,
Four in
there's
the
just
first
me
room.
on my own.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I
Harrison's
see.
on his own at the moment. So
Yeah.
this one signifies Harrison
mean-
because I ain't really got a better one for Harrison yet. Not fully
Yeah.
put together anyway. I've got a good one for
So
Thelma.
I'll just have a look, walk round the
Thelma.
corner just to see
Anyway.
if there's because usually there's a front door and a back door somewhere.
Yeah, so head around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
See another window. Just pass by it round about
Yeah.
here. Okay. Same room.
Yeah.
Same room you looked in before.
Yeah. So I'll just keep going.
Yeah. So around here, you see a well, and then you see a set of
Right.
stairs. This is set up a bit bad actually. There we go. Set of stairs, which seem to lead inside. There's literally a set of stairs, which is an opening inside, and just from your angle here,
Yeah.
looks like there's another door from this sort of area here.
Right. So I will go
And also,
back.
also,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, I forgot to mention. I've just noticed. What looks like some double doors in the ground, sort of like a trapdoor type thing. You know, like your usual.
Like a cellar door.
Basically, yes.
Right.
So that's sort of
Wine cellar.
I was just gonna say,
Sort of
maybe
there.
it's the wine cellar.
We're gonna lose Harrison.
Oh no! Here we go. Here we go again.
Yay! Rubs my hands together. No. What I will do then is I will quietly walk my way back to where the rest of them are.
Okay.
I'll relay all this information that I've gathered.
Yep.
Right. So what's the plan?
So basically, if we go in the front door, it leads straight into the kitchen, and there's four orcs in the kitchen.
Four?
Was it
Did you
4
say
or
4?
5?
Well, there were when you saw them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Round the other side, there is actually two orcs at a table in the main room. But round
there
the
were
other
when you
side,
saw them,
there
yeah.
is some steps that lead up to a door, but I'm not sure where they lead to. Or there is looks like a cellar door that opens up and goes down and underneath.
So we know what we're dealing with in the kitchen. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe we should clear out those enemies first, and then we'll be freer to explore the rest of the area.
Yeah. That seems like a good idea.
So I
I
guess
feel like we're gonna have to
and-
fight them sooner than later, anyways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess if we I think we will have to fight them sooner or later, so we may as well get the element of surprise on them.
Okay, I have an idea for how we could get the element of surprise. One of my other new spells, Pass Without Trace. Veil of Shadows and Silence radiates from you, making you and your companion, masking you and your companions from detection.
Just remember that how many spell slots do you have?
Actually, I only have 2 second level spells.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what
so
second
you
level
really
spells
wanna
do you
save-
have?
You
Hey up, DG, how are you doing?
you really want to save those.
Yeah, I have 3 second level spells.
'Cause I
and
don't-
3 buffed first level spells.
Because I highly doubt that that's going to be all of the orcs. I bet there's more in the rest of the
Yeah.
farmhouse. So we have to take these ones by surprise and save spells for when we really need them.
Doing good, thank you, DG.
Good idea.
Unless
Doing good, thank you for
unless
asking.
one of your spells is good for a sneak attack.
How durable is the kitchen ceiling?
It's a kitchen ceiling.
So not very
Well, seeing as the house is made of wood,
Logs, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, you know,
How
your
high is
typical.
it from me?
How high is it from you? I would imagine about. You reckon it's probably about 8 to 9 feet high, Harrison?
yeah.
Just, you know, your regular home.
Because
Room.
Yeah, built
I-
built and made for humans.
Yeah.
I was thinking I have since the last level up, I have a new ability called Breath of the Dragon, which allows me to choose an element of my choice and do either a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line breath attack, and I could damage the ceiling trying to collapse it on top of them.
What could fall down from the ceiling?
Do you have
It'll
limited
crash
uses
into
of that?
the orcs.
Do you have limited uses or not?
It has 2 uses.
Right.
So I could try with
So-
one. If it does nothing, then we still have to fight either way.
And what's our situation with healing spells? Because I can give you guys cure wounds, and I can buff you with bless. But but yeah, I don't want
mean,
to just use those willy nilly.
I can't heal, but I can grant temporary hit points.
Okay,
So there's that. I have a enhanced ability spell.
I've also got lay on hands.
Basically, what's going on, DG? They've heard rumor that this farm has been attacked by, well, that this ranch has been attacked by orcs, and these guys have come to check it out. Harrison scouted out the building and found a load of orcs in it, and they're just figuring out what the hell they're gonna do now.
So, do you think, how's everyone's stealth? I mean, is everyone's stealth except Harrison's rubbish?
Actually, mine's +5. I thought it was less.
It's dependent on your
Mine's
dexterity.
+3.
I mean, mine's +1, but with disadvantage. So,
Yeah, you'll be clanking all over
yeah,
the
but-
place.
But again, if I give you,
So-
if I cast enhance ability with Cat's Grace, you'll have advantage on any dexterity check. Which
Yeah,
is-
but advantage just rules out disadvantage, so it's just one roll.
yeah, exactly. So it'll just be without disadvantage then.
so, yeah, do you guys want to try a sneak attack? As
Yeah.
you guys could, but I stay out of it, because I
I could
don't
try.
want you to waste your spell on me doing the stealth check.
Okay.
So, yeah, you guys can try and sneak in and see if you can get behind them and, do a throat slit.
That's not how it
And
works.
That's not how it
And,
works.
and then, well, I'm saying, you get a stealth hit, and you could say that you try and slit their throats, and then do a significant amount of damage, not necessarily kill them.
That's not how it works.
But yeah, so I guess you guys try a sneak attack, all those that are good with stealth, and then when I'll be watching, and when I notice that that they know that that we're attacking, then I will barge in.
Sounds like
Does
a
that
good
sound
idea.
like
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess we've got to roll a stealth roll to see if
Yeah,
managed.
I think so.
Yeah.
We should
So,
ask the almighty GM.
DM.
yeah. I was just wondering what it would be to try and open the door
Yep.
quietly, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the door.
Depends if they notice, doesn't it? Right, let me know what you do.
Yeah. Right. So
I could use my stealth check to try and open the door quietly, and you guys could use your stealth to do the sneak attack.
yeah.
Oh, actually, if I open the door and I blow it with a stealth check, then that plan's basically over.
Okay, what did I miss?
So, no.
Because I do have
Right.
a +5.
Yeah, Liam, what is Giora's stealth like?
Stealth. I have +1 to stealth.
Okay, so alright, you and I then are gonna hang back. The other three are going to try and sneak in and do a sneak attack. And when we notice that, and when the orcs notice us, then you and I are gonna barge in and support them.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, roll in.
How far are you going to hang back?
We're going to stay
forgot.
right next to the door.
Right, 25.
Okay,
Roll stealth
18.
check.
18.
I rolled 22 for the door.
So you're going to stay right next to the door, you say?
I'm gonna
We're
open
gonna.
the door.
Okay, we're gonna be either side. So,
So
I'll go to the right of the door, and Giora goes to you go to the left of the door.
So you're just
Behind,
happily walking up to the door?
Yeah.
You're not stealthing up to the door, you're just happily walking up to the door?
I think we should all stealth to the door, even if we don't get behind
Oh, I
Probably
see.
were.
Right.
I think we should all
I
just
see.
try
I
and
see
get
what you're
behind.
saying.
Yes. Yes.
Alright,
I mean, did
alright,
Harrison
I will
walk?
stealth to the door then.
I rolled stealth.
Here goes. Right, here goes stealth.
Oh,
now.
No!
That was
Why-
what I was
why
doing.
did-
Stay put.
Right. Well,
Why
I
did
can
it
put
roll
this
twice?
away now.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the marching order?
Right.
Who was going where and
It's-
how were they doing it? So these are the steps that lead up to the door. Who was going to be the one opening the door?
Malkuth is going to be opening the door.
Okay. So
Yeah, I was opening
Yeah.
it quietly.
as far as
You-
you're
you've got
aware,
an 18.
yep.
Then
That's where
I'm
you
going to
are.
be
And
first
then-
in.
You're going to be first in.
Then
How are you
I'm
going to
gonna
do
be
that?
second.
Yeah.
Remember, it was up a set of stairs, and the door was at the top of the stairs. So,
Hey?
right, it was up a set of steps. I told you this. It was up a set of steps
No,
to
you
get
said
to.
the one at the back was.
No, that was a separate one. The door itself, I said, was up a set of steps to get to the door. Just like
Yeah.
just like a porch, it was up a set of steps, and then you'd have to get back down them to let you through, unless you wanted to try and barge past Malkuth on the steps.
Right. Oh, well, he better
I know,
go in first
DG.
then.
I know, DG. She.
Yeah.
Right. So you were
and
next then. So
So I will be fourth in the sort of marching
Okay, so
order, and
so
Gioa
Gioa
fifth.
was going to be next to the door. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yoa and Carlton were both on
So-
the side.
You get
So-
there.
Yoa's on
So
the left,
Felmar-
Carlton's on the right.
I'll be last, and then Carlton will
You're
be
there.
second.
And then Carlton. So yeah, the rest of you, as you see, you sort of glide to the door, not making a sound, or if it was, it's very faint, which you don't seem to pick up. You can still hear, plenty of noise coming from there, but as Carlton's walking along, shield and sword at the ready, manages to stumble, drops his shield with an almighty clatter, and it just goes silent.
Oh no.
I just
Not the
shout.
first time
No, I
that's-
just shout, scatter!
Shout what?
Scatter!
Right, so that's
It's not the
that's
first
covered
time
that
that's
plan.
happened. It's not the first time that's happened to me in D&D.
So I guess it's
So I
just
would like you
one
all-
time.
Last time I
Yeah,
last time that
To
happened,
roll
I
for
fell down
initiative.
the stairs.
No, when it goes silent, I just shout, scatter!
I would like you all to roll for initiative, please.
I rolled as soon as I heard you say it.
And I roll, and that's 20.
Nat 20!
I got a 10.
Yeah, it's don't matter
got
if
a
it's a
nat
nat 20.
20.
It don't matter if it's a nat 20. It's
But
just
I-
23.
Got 15.
Type
Yeah,
it in.
it's
Type it in
23
Gilded as per
anyway.
usual, please. You might have got lucky.
Still the first one.
Right, so 10, 13, 15, 23. And was it Carlton as well?
21.
21. Just if you don't, yeah, thank you.
Nah.
We can keep track of it. Right. So, Felmore, you're up first.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Where am I?
You're third in line.
Oh.
You're right there. Basically.
Okay.
So you've got Malkuth, you've got Harrison, you're third in line at the bottom of the steps, Carlton's behind you, and Gioa's around the other side of the steps.
I guess I'll try to push past them real quick.
Yeah, you can do that. It just halves or doubles your movement. So instead of moving 5, it'd be 10, 20.
What?
Okay, I'll walk inside to the left of the door.
So as you open the door, you see there are now 3 orcs.
I have to fix my guild
2
message.
I still have
around the side of the table.
Wait a second.
No, it's on. There is no wait a second. It is on now.
It's just, I still have my orc head from previously, so can I just pull it out and try and intimidate them?
Is it your turn?
Yeah, but on my
Is it your turn?
Fine.
Right, well shush then.
Orc head.
So yes, right as you open the door, step inside to the left of the door, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, there you are. So you see that they've heard a noise, they're like unsure what's going on, but now they see you walk through the door. They're ready.
And yeah, I get that.
But you were like-
let's see.
I'm sure Harrison said there was 4 of them.
Yeah.
But you know, you took your time contemplating what to do.
Yeah. Firebolt.
Firebolt, that's cool.
On the one and the closest one to me.
Yes, no problem. So one right at the front there. Oh god, this is where I
Yes.
need my notebook, isn't it? Notebook for hit points of said beasties. Do, 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 do,
An 11
do.
hit.
Hmm?
An 11 to hit.
Knock 2, 11 to hit, 1 minute. Knock 3. I'm prepared, can you tell?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's a normal orc, it should have. I believe it's a 13 armor class, but I.
Oh really? We're doing that again. Metagaming, are we?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to help. I'm not metagaming here.
Lies. Damn lies. And statistics. They've all just been upgraded because the meta rule.
Now you need a
Ah,
20
lovely.
to hit them.
As you fire your firebolt, it just ducks out of the way and it just skims off the table. It was a miss. No need to headbutt the table. It's all good.
I was biting my mic stand.
You're
Okay.
biting your mic stand.
If I did that, everybody would see. You want me to hydrate? Okay, that's fine. Right, is that your go? You got anything else you can do?
Yeah, I don't have any other action, so yeah.
Okay. Up next, I do believe we have a Carlton.
Okay, so sorry everyone about that.
That's the fun,
Right.
fun and games
Anyway,
of a complex pattern.
yeah. So, okay. How? So I can obviously see the tiles in the map. How far is it in feet between the
5.
door and the table where the orcs are?
About 20 feet to the first one.
20 feet, and then 30 feet to the other 2.
Basically, yes.
So I can approach any of them.
That depends how much movement you got, because you got to make your way through 2 people first.
Yes. Okay. In that case. All right.
Right, this door is
I
now
will,
open, so-
in that
Yeah.
I will,
just put
in
that.
that case, we'll do. Yeah, I know what to do. I'm going to use one of my new abilities. So I would like to go through the door and step in front of Felmore to protect him.
Cool. What's your movement?
Cool.
30 feet.
30 feet. So you've got 5 to get there. 15, 25, 30. Will take you about there, I'll say.
All right, I'm
Oh,
just
were you-
going to have
oh,
to
were you
wait
going-
for the stream to up.
Were you going in front of Felmore, like literally smack bang in front of him?
I was hoping to.
Yeah,
but
that's
if I
fine.
can't
Yeah,
move that
no, that's
far,
fine.
then-
You can do that. We'll allow that.
Okay. All right. So from that range, let's just see if I can do this.
We'll just turn you to point in the right direction.
Oh, it doesn't say range and area of this ability. Interesting.
What is
I
the
wanted-
ability?
Okay. Nature's Wrath.
Ooh.
That
So
sounds
basically,
intense.
basically, it means that I make vines, spectral vines, spring up within 10 feet of me. Oh, that I can see. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Within 10 feet of me. Is that 10 feet? The one at the front?
Yeah, it's 10 feet away.
All right, I am going to use Nature's Wrath on it. So,
Where is
spectral
this?
vines will spring up, and it will try and reach for it. The creature must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw of its choice. And if it fails, it's restrained.
Is
While
this a
restrained by the vines, the creature
spell?
has to repeat the saving throw at the end of every turn. On a success, it frees itself and the vines vanish.
That's cool. Is this a spell?
No, it is Channel Divinity, so I have infinite uses of it. It is an action.
I just can't see it on your character. Where am I
It's,
looking?
it's
I see it.
Might be in features and traits because my new ones are.
Oh,
It's
it's
under
an
action.
action. It's action.
Oh, wait.
It's
Oh god, hang on a minute. I can only.
Oh, there it is, yeah. Because
Um,
I was looking at the first words. Nature's Wrath. Okay. Channel Divinity. So you
Yeah.
can pick one of these two things.
Yeah. I just realised what short rest. Okay, I thought
No,
I
yeah,
could
it's
just keep using it. I've
No,
changed.
no,
I've
no.
changed my mind now
Okay.
because because
One use before
but
one use before a
I
short
thought-
rest. Yeah.
yeah, I thought I could use it infinitely, but it turns out I can only use it once.
That would be a bit
So,
overpowered, wouldn't it?
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
I
Right.
was gonna say that's a overkill.
Instead, I am going to get a javelin and chuck it at the one closest to
Yeah, fair enough.
us.
Roll to hit.
And I roll a 22 to hit.
So yeah, even in these short quarters with Felmore behind you, you manage to dexterously grab the javelin, loose it without hitting Felmore, and it thunk straight into its chest.
And that is 7 piercing damage.
Samage? What the hell am I talking? Samage. So yeah, as you see, it hits it. It just sticks straight in its chest, and it stumbles back. You can see it's that caused it a fair amount of damage. It is very pained after that hit. So you can see this one's the whiner of the group. Right.
It's the OG TMNT shredder. I'm gonna conquer Earth!
So, is that your go?
Okay, let's just see if there's anything else worthwhile that I can do. No. I am not going to do anything else. I end my turn.
Cool. Right. Who's up next? It's Gioa.
So, how many of them can I see?
Well, at the moment, Not many, because you are stood outside with a wall
Oh.
preventing your view of them.
So can I just walk into the room? Just like
You'd have to-
walk in?
You'd have to go around, get past these two, and then get into the room. So it depends what you want to do.
Because I want to use one of my new spells.
So you could get 5, 10, 20, 30. What's your movement?
30.
You could probably just get inside the doorway from where you are.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll just get inside the doorway.
Yeah, it just means it makes it a little bit more difficult for the other two to get past you, that's all. So there you go, just inside the doorway.
So then I cast Moonbeam.
Moonbeam, ooh, this sounds interesting.
Sounds cool.
It has a range of 120 feet.
Yeah, I think you'll be
Within
fine.
range of all of them. And the hit, I think it's a Constitution save.
Is it spell?
Yeah, it just says Con 13.
5 foot radius, ooh. 40 foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. Sheesh.
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn again, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain. It must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
I take it you've got some moon seeds.
Let's just go with yes.
Tell you what, as you probably didn't even think about it, did you?
Actually, wait, I do have a herbalist kit.
That dude, it's fine. For this one time, because this is a brand new spell, I'm going to allow the fact that you have the components for it.
Good.
I'm not that mean, after all. It seems quite cool. Right.
It
So
does. It sounds
yeah.
hella cool.
basically, a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5 foot radius, 40 foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. So yeah, it's like a. If you've ever seen any of the Thor movies, it's a bit like their transportation thing, yeah?
Yeah. So does that mean if we step into its range, we get damaged as well?
Yeah, it's a concentration spell, so he can end it when he wants to, and it lasts up to a minute, so that's basically 10 combat turns. So, where do you want to cast it? Come and have a look. You've got a 5 foot radius, so this guy's here, that guy's there, that guy's at the front there.
Don't cast it on the one at the front because I've already hurt that one. Cast it
5
on
foot
one of the
radius
ones.
I'll cast it
means
on the
10 foot diameter.
one-
You,
I'll cast it on the one in the corner.
if you're smart about this, you could get them all.
Oh yeah, go for the
It's a 5 foot
table.
radius.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for the table then.
So if you cast it right smack bang in the middle of the table, it will get all of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Cast it right smack bang in the middle.
So as you see, Gil just casually trots through the door, pulls out these seeds that, you know, you didn't even realize he had in his pouch, throws them into onto the table, basically where these are, and just draws his arm down, and this pale beam of light just goes through the roof into the center of this gang of orcs.
Casually walk in, throw the seeds, bring my arm down, and then a giant beam of his.
Ooh, on each of your turns after you cast this spell, you can use an action to move the beam up to 6 feet in any direction.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Right. When a
It's like
creature
just- it's a movable orbital strike that's just constant.
when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain. Must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Right. Let's make some Constitution saving throws for the orcs. Where's my other d20? Where's my blue d20? I don't know. Only got 2 d20s here. So, orc number 1. Ooh, that's an 18. Natural 18, so that's a pass. Because it's Constitution 13 saving throw.
Still takes half.
Yeah, it still takes half, but you know. Number 2, that's a 3. So the second one, this guy fails its save. And number 3, that's a 10. Plus 3, so that's a pass as well. So this guy passed, this guy failed. So roll your 2d10. See how much damage it does.
It
Oh,
does 17.
17 damage.
Holy
Oof.
crap!
So you see this guy at the front is like, thought he shrugged it off. Absolutely incinerated.
Okay, well, my
He's gone.
Do I not get the
My javelin! Not my javelin!
It doesn't always work like that. You see the guy, he just incinerates. Let me just roll.
turns to ash?
Huh, your javelin,
Also,
clang, tick-a-tick-a-tick-a-tick, just lands on the floor.
yes.
This guy,
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
this guy, the one that failed, just falls to ash on the floor.
Oh my god!
So absolutely
Awesome.
incinerated. So that one dead, that one dead. And this guy, you just see his skin starting to crisp and burn. All the exposed flesh from this. He's in so much pain. What was it, 17? That you rolled?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, but he's still there, he's still fighting. You can see he's a much crispier orc than he was before. But he's still there,
So I'm just like,
fighting around the table.
turn ends. I just say, was that good? Did I do good?
God, it is hot.
Yeah,
in this
you did
freaking
good.
room.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna turn this fan up a
That
bit.
was nice.
Holy shit!
So-
Up, little one.
Who's next?
Now it's
Turn the fan up a bit. It's getting a bit. Oh, I found my other D10, D20.
either Steph or Granny.
Why did they roll the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote
Cool.
the wrong thing and Gil did.
Well, that was silly, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't do that.
So yeah, just remember there is this silvery moonlight just shining down, burning this thing.
So don't do any extremely
I-
close range melee attacks.
Yeah.
I-
Well, we won't even reach it.
I have an attack that would.
Yeah, all I can do is throw a dagger at it 'cause I know I can't even get close. So you go first.
Okay. Am I even in the room, or am I still in the
No.
doorway?
He's still in the doorway.
Actually, wait. So I'm just outside the doorway, right? So how far is it from me?
From you, 5, 10, 15, 20,
Yeah.
25, 30, 35 feet.
How many?
35 feet.
30 feet? Okay.
Yes,
Um,
35.
I'll go inside the room, so I'm a little closer. Not getting to the freaking beam
Right.
of light, though.
So in front of Gioa.
Yes, in front of Kiowa.
Okay, so that's 15 feet. 10
Oh,
past him and then
cool.
5 to get there. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Okay, this is really confusing for me. Like I understand how to do it. It just to explain it's gonna be odd. I have to, because I want to use Breath of the Dragon, but I have to choose either like attacking with my short sword, any of my attack actions, and then I have to replace it with Breath of the Dragon. So I'm gonna go with Unarmed Strike, and then replace it with Breath of the Dragon.
So basically you're attacking with your breath weapon.
Yes and no. It is a breath weapon, but it's not the same one.
But yeah, I know, but so you're not punching, you're burping.
Yes, but I think because I chose Unarmed Strike, I still roll instead of the 13 con.
No, they roll a dex save.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I'm reading it now. So
So I'm going to choose fire for the element.
Okay, there's only one type of it that would actually hit. 'Cause the cone at this range wouldn't hit because it's 20 foot, but the line would. Not that it really matters because there's only the one
I'm
there.
doing a 30-foot line.
30-foot line, yeah. That's fine. So you set yourself, you crouch, you shape your mouth, and this line of fire just spits straight through. So dex save. That's the 6. Plus 1. Ooh. That's the 7. So that's a fail. So 2d4 fire damage.
Oh yeah. Is that a custom roll then?
It's. I would imagine so.
Okay.
Because it's not got a damage showing for it, is it? Oh no, your breath weapon's different there. Unless it's in action. Yeah. Is it in action? Nah, yeah, just roll 2d4.
Okay. I guess everyone then. Because I've never done the customs.
What do you mean? Down in the bottom left.
Never mind. Yeah. I did okay. Get off my screen. The first one was a 1. And the second one is a 4.
So 5.
Yes.
So yeah, as you fire this beam of fire from your mouth, just see it engulf the orc, the what already crispy orc. Its skin is starting to go black with char as it's just being assailed with ghostly fire and now magical breath fire, and its skin is just crisping up and it's finding it difficult to move without cracking, but it is literally just hanging on there. It's got one arm on the ground, but it's still got its axe raised, ready to fight. Harrison, you're up.
Looks like Harrison's going to be able to finish it off.
Right. I'll just go in as far as I can.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Without getting into range of that.
Yeah, I think that's safest place for you.
And I will just attack it with a dagger.
So you're gonna throw a dagger.
I just shout.
Yeah.
Roll the dice.
Oh, 11.
11. So as you throw your dagger, you're just completely put off by the bright white light that's there, and you just manage to just throw it into the wall behind it because you expected it to be stood up, but it's not. It's crouched because it is so close to death's door. You managed to miss. So, now, I believe it is the hawk's turn.
Oh no.
Wait, it does get to have a go.
Wait, but it doesn't.
Wait, but nothing.
No, it says.
No.
If it starts its turn in the beam, it also has to.
Yeah, I think he's got a point. I think I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I don't think the orc gets to attack.
That's a good spell, that one. That's why, from now on, you're going to have to make sure you've got the components for it.
Also, if I do have them, I can only use it like twice.
Oh, it's the component,
Enters a spell area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there. Yeah, we'll go with that. Wait, you better roll for some. I better roll for a Constitution save. That's a fail. It's dead. You don't even have to roll for damage. It's dead. Okay. How do you want to finish it?
Do I get to finish it?
Yeah, it's your spell that's killed it. Finish it in style.
Oh, I know.
Tell us all. Come over. Come
There we
closer
go.
so everyone can hear you a bit more.
Okay.
This is gonna be interesting.
Here we go. I'm
So,
looking forward to this.
I concentrate all the flames on its body into one giant, like, fireball, and then I just blast it into it.
Cool. What, into it?
Yeah, just, like, all over its body. I just blast it straight into its face.
Okay. So, as you see, Gio just concentrating and moving his arms around, you see the ghostly white flames that were all over it. They're now licking up its legs, licking up its arms. They're all disappearing and concentrating, all gathering around its face. And there's just one bright flash. and its head is no longer there. It slumps to the ground. It's dead.
God.
It is one
Head,
Hey.
charred
Wow.
orc.
head just turned to ash.
Okay.
Anyone want to eat some barbecued orc?
Sounds delicious. I
So-
could take this orc's head, but it's gone.
As that one finishes, you just cast around to the side as this door opens, and you can see an orc stood in the doorway, like, what's going on here then?
I killed all your friends.
And there's two behind it, just coming through around the table. It looks like the other one that was in that room now has made it into this room. So, start of the next round.
So there's,
Who's up
so
first?
there's 3 of
Oh
them.
boy.
Yeah, one stood in the doorway, and from what you guys can see, there is two stood behind it, behind the table through there.
So I can move my
Alright,
movie
so-
60 feet, can't
When it's your
I?
turn.
I know, but
So Felmore's up first then.
Go, Philemon.
Yeah,
Oh, good
Philemon
luck.
right there.
Lord, look at the time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do we want to finish the fight or use
Don't know what
round
you
2
mean.
for next session?
No, we got time yet.
We've got.
It's only
we-
4
we've
to
still got
11.
time. It's-
Well, you said look at the time. So...
No, I just didn't realise it was
We've got-
that late, to be fair.
We've still got another like 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, exactly. 45 minutes-ish. So, you know, if you're thinking of plans, think them quick. And make sure you're marking off your spells when you're casting them.
I did.
I definitely am doing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to use the cantrip. Anyway, it's your go, Felmer. You know, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Having a lot of trouble focusing. I have a really bad hangover from yesterday. So
I'm sorry if it was a regular illness, I would give you sympathy, but as it's a hangover, just get on with it.
yeah, that's fair.
Uh,
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 5
Uh,
seconds. 4, 3.
Okay, I'll cast a second level magic missile
Ooh.
on the orc in the door.
Orc in the doorway, second level. Right, so what does second level do different to first level?
It's just an extra dart.
Oh, okay, so 4 instead of 3.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so you want to be rolling for damage. One more dot. So I watch D4 plus 1. Is that right?
So the first one does 3 damage.
Okay. So
Second
you
one
cast.
does 5 damage.
Nice. Ooh, there we go.
And the third one does 2 damage, and the last one does 5 damage.
So as you see this orc open the door,
yeah, it's-
shouting, "What the heck's going on here?" Felmore gathers this magical energy from behind this door, pokes his head round, and just goes. And you see these 4 forks of magical energies just curve around the rest of the party, and just head, chest, belly, groin, and it's just down. It's gone. It's out of there.
instantly dies.
Instant death. It was not wise to open the door. Yeah, well done, well played. Took that one out straight away.
Hey,
Right, who's number next?
I am.
Carl.
Right. So, time to get straight in there. So, I head up to the one that is right in front, looking directly at the 4 of us. The one that's not behind the table.
Yep, cool.
I approach it.
Approach
I
it.
stand right in
Excuse me,
front
sir.
of it.
15, 15,
Yes.
20. Yep, that's
And
fine.
then I beat it with my superior linguistic skills. I
Approach or
What do you want?
Casually approach
Alright.
York, firmly grasp on
Yeah.
Yeet York.
Alright. Long sword out, shield out,
Yep.
and longsword strike. And it's 25 to hit.
One
wow.
shot. So as you charge through the door,
Wow.
shield in front, you raise your arm back and slash straight down across its face with your sword.
And that is
Oh.
10 damage.
And as it tries to dodge out of the way, your sword just carves straight down under its eye, across its nose, shaving half its nose off, and across its mouth, and leaving its jaw with a great big red stripe right down its face. Oof! That hurt. And it reminds you very much of Tyrion Lannister from the Battle of Blackwater.
Yeah.
So, Gioa. Is that right? Is it Gioa?
So I can move my beam 60 feet.
You can indeed, but you best be careful.
Is there a way that I could move it so that we just get the orc
So let's have a
not
look.
get Carlton?
So we'll class this because it's close enough. So it's 60 feet. So it's right here. So if you do it, let's go with 5, 10, 15. Yeah, it should easily be able to do it. Yeah. So you can land it. So it's smack bang right there between the two of them. So it will fry that one and that one, but it will miss. It will miss Calton. So let's so for orc number 5, that is a fail. That's the one in front of Calton. Yeah, I ain't holding out much hope for that one. And for orc number 6, that's a 14, which is a pass. So roll 2d10.
Not as good. I got an 8.
Oof, an 8. The first one, however, it failed its save. So Calton shaved off its face, and Gioa finishes it with the ghostly flames as they lap around. And it just dies. Right at Calton's feet. Good teamwork. The second one, it sees
Nice.
what's happened. It braces itself. The flames lick around it, but it is still there. Singed, but ready for more action.
Can't believe I got 17 on the first one though.
Neither can I.
Took out all 3
Hello.
orcs in one attack.
Right, so so it's
Yeah.
Malkuth or
I think it was Malka.
Granny.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we were
Harrison.
tied.
Harrison, that's the one. Yeah, it's up to you guys between you to decide what you're doing.
Hey, Granny could go first this time.
Well, it depends. Does Granny want to enter
Oh, wait. Forgot about the beam of light.
Yeah, the one that just, killed one and nearly killed the other.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's the point. That one made it save, didn't it? So that's actually not taken as much damage.
I guess
Yeah.
I'll go next again.
Okay.
This time I'll use my regular breath weapon. So
Okay.
that's poison damage.
Right.
Hmm?
I'm saying okay.
Wait, am I in range of it?
Well,
Because
what's,
this
what's
one's
the
15
range?
feet.
No.
I'd like to move in range without getting into the beam of light.
Yeah, basically, if you move into the doorway, you should be fine. Is it a cone?
Okay. That's not mine.
Is it a cone, the breath weapon?
Oh yeah, it's a cone. Sorry, I thought you
Okay.
asked if something was a phone. I was like, well, it wasn't my phone. My hearing's going.
Sorry, what?
But yes, it's a cone of poison damage, and
Okay.
it's a Constitution save, I
Constitution
believe.
save. Doing a lot of them today. So that's a 2, so it fails.
So I will roll for the damage.
Yes,
this
you
one I
will.
can actually just click. And that is 8.
Okay, so you breathe your noxious fumes after not brushing your teeth first thing in the morning, and it just takes. Is it poisoned or anything now, or is it just poison damage?
I think it's just poison damage. I don't know if it can actually do the status effect. It doesn't say.
Nah, it's just
Yeah, just poison damage.
increases. Oh, 6th level. Right, I was just seeing the damage increases. So no, that's fine. So yeah, as it's trying to put out the flames from Moonbeam, but it's still stood in it. Just your acid breath just engulfs it, and it just it's breathing it all in. Coughs out some black blood, spits it on the floor, and it just looks. It looks not very well at all from that.
Your breath smells terrible.
No, it doesn't. I decide if it says anything. You keep your thoughts to yourself, boy. Right, so Harrison.
Well, there's not a lot I can do because I can't get close enough. So I'll just move in there as far as I can get.
It depends. Do you want your dagger?
Oh yeah, you could go get that from the other one.
Oh no, bugger the dagger.
Bugger the dagger.
Well, if you don't want your dagger, remove it from your inventory then. So, where are you going? You just going into the...
I tried and it won't take it off.
Tell you what, we'll just wait. We'll wait and see what happens for the rest of the time. So 5, 15, 20, 30. You can get next to Harris. Get next to Carlton.
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
But I'm still not within range, am I? So I'll just have to chuck another dagger at it.
You got another one?
I've got 20.
Have you?
It says 20 out of 60. Yeah.
20 out of 60?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. What the hell?
Or something. Yeah. I tried to take it out, out my inventory, but it wouldn't remove it.
That's
So
weird. Okay, that's fine. Well, it must be... Anyway, carry on. Do what you need to do.
Oh no, Granny. What that means on your character sheet is because I've got that. Is that under range?
Oh yeah, it's your short range and your long range. Yeah, that's what that is.
oh right.
30 brackets 120. No, if you
So it's a lot of
look at
daggers.
your equipment, then it will say your quantity. Like I've got 7 javelins.
Right, dagger. Oh, it says I ain't got any quantity. It
No,
just says
because
I've
you've got a dagger. Yeah. So your dagger is currently stuck in the kitchen wall.
Oh well, I'll do nothing then.
Okay. Right. So now it is the turn of the orc. Roll for damage. It fails its Constitution save.
Awesome. I get an 11.
Finish it in style.
Oh my god.
I gather all of the flames and I just try and gather it inside of its body to make it burst out in flames.
So you see all the flames, the ghostly white flames, that pretty much like the other one that you finished off, were flickering around it. They move up its legs, move up its arms, move down its face, up towards its face, but once they get into the mouth, they just disappear. And you can see pain in its eyes as it just shrieks, as you see this white fire burn it from the inside out, and all that collapses are bones onto the floor, blackened bones, as it's just burnt inside out. It is gone. That is done. It is one dead orc.
Indeed, it was.
Okay.
I whisper to Carlton, I think this child needs therapy.
I whisper to Philmore, what are you talking about? That was epic.
I just shout over to him. Did that do good?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so
Just a point of interest, whether I never noticed it or what, but do magic spells not have to roll for hit
depends on the
to
spell.
see if they hit?
Depends on the spell.
Depends on the
What's the
spell.
Constitution save?
Things like area of effect one, it's generally Constitution save, and if you pass, you either take half damage or you take no damage. So it very
Right.
much depends on the spell. So casters can be overpowered, but
Yeah,
spells
yeah,
like
for
that,
instance, like-
I let him off this time. He needs specific components for casting that spell because it is an incredibly powerful one.
Yeah.
Legit, if I'm lucky, I can get 20 damage on that. If I'm
Per
like,
turn.
extremely lucky, I
Per
can get
turn.
20 damage.
Now, I think we did it right because it says when you first cast it and start of its turn, but yeah, anyway. Right, you're still in this house. There are orcs around. You don't know if there are any more. What are you going to do?
Okay, there's a great way for me to draw them all out. I cast the wand of pyrotechnics once.
Right, you don't know
I
what...
was just gonna burn down the house.
No, it's
We
it's
just,
harmless.
just need to.
Right,
It's
remember
a harmless flame.
remember why you were here.
Well, first thing I think we should do is loot the dead bodies.
Yes.
Okay.
To,
If there is anything to
assess the
loot.
damage.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we need to assess the damage and help. That's all we need to do for the quest. And if the guy's dead, we need to bring back proof that he's dead.
Yeah, so far you've not found anything that would be identified as Big Al. So, in this room, having a quick look around, you can see in this corner here, there are some stairs which lead up. There's a door here, which hasn't been opened yet.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a little doorway just about, well, just there. Yeah, just there. So behind this door, there's some stairs that lead up. There's this little door here as well. And there's this door over here, which have not been opened yet.
So I just say, let's split up, gang.
Let's what?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to go to the door that Harrison found that leads to the back.
I don't think splitting up's a good idea. We don't know that that's all of the orcs.
But you wanted to loot the orcs
Also,
first
the
anyway,
DMs
didn't you?
is
So
very mean.
whoever's looting the
How
orcs...
many more bodies are left?
Well, yeah, whoever's doing the looting of whatever, just roll for investigation, unless you've done it already.
Yeah, if anything, you're just gonna find stuff in piles of ash.
Harrison. So, checking around the orcs, you managed to get... Well, checking around what's left of this battle, you managed to get your dagger back. So
Thank
that's,
you.
so that's the
I
thing.
actually have a question about
Yay.
the campaign.
Wouldn't Harrison also get Carlton's javelin?
Well, yes.
I've already, I've gone and taken that back.
Oh, have you now?
Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Why didn't
And when did you do that?
I'm going to do it right now
Okay.
because that is my plan.
I've already doing it. When are you doing it? I'm doing it right now.
Sparky, I do have a question. In
Oh, we're
regards
not
to
looting the orcs anymore. Okay.
the setting. Do monsters in this fantasy setting have cores, like magic crystals? Cores?
What?
Yeah.
Like if you tap one bit where the entire thing dies, you destroy it.
Basically, in a lot of fantasy settings, monsters have what's called a core, and it's usually considered valuable based on how big. And
Yeah, I'm sorry. This isn't
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
It's a very standard trope in most fantasy.
So
Okay.
you're saying it's a very common cliche?
I mean,
Yes.
it don't feel like it's that standard.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Okay. Well, no. That was
Okay.
easy. Thanks. So, after having a bit of an investigation around the orcs, patting them down, they had some gold on them. So altogether, you got about 15 copper, Are you noting this down, Granny? Because, you know, you were the one that did the investigation. 23 silver.
Yeah.
And about 15 gold across the 3 that were left that weren't incinerated. I sure rolled well on investigation, dude. So what's your next move?
In silence.
Sparky's just reading up on what he needs to do next.
No, I'm just reading up on all the different rooms and stuff.
And what he
I literally just said, what do you want to do next? And then I was reading, it's not on me.
Everybody gets... they get 3 gold each,
Ah, thanks, Harrison.
7 silver, and 3 copper.
Oh,
Cheers, Harrison.
did I do good maths there? Didn't even, I just, you know, thought that was a nice round
So
number.
3 gold, 7 silver, and how much copper?
3.
I didn't do any looting.
Bang,
Yeah, but
done.
She's
Right.
distributing it.
So, DM,
She's being a
can
fair
you
rogue.
please remind us
A fair
of,
pirate.
where we can go, what doors and stairs there are.
Right, there are stairs in this corner, which lead up. There's a door next to the stairs. And there's a door over at this far side here as well. Which, due to the placement,
Okay.
probably leads to wherever this door that Harrison found around the back of the building earlier.
Alright, well, I feel like we
Chicken
should
tonight?
explore the rest of this floor before we head up or down any stairs.
Actually, before we start exploring, I just cancel out my moonbeam. You don't want that around
Yeah.
with searching.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Just remember,
So
that's
I
it done.
think we should go. I think we should explore the floor before we go up or down any stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo.
I look at
Okay.
the cabinet.
Yes, I said yes.
I'm sorry, but I think I have to go to bed. My head is really killing me.
That's fine. We'll carry on for you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Next time,
Right,
well,
so why
don't
is
get
it-
hungover before. Rest up, Weisels. Get some rest.
Thank you.
This is why I don't bother anymore.
Yeah.
Did too much of that when I was your age. Bloody youth of today. Have a good sleep, dude.
Well, anyway, good night.
Right, let me just open up Felmor's on a new tab, so I've got it just there constantly.
See, I don't need alcohol to be an absolute lunatic.
Neither does little Spark.
I was just gonna say, neither do I.
Right, let's push on. So you got your 2 doors
Right.
and the stairs.
The cabinet.
So we're
And
going
whatever
through the
Granny's
one at the
eating.
back.
Oi, what are you eating and why aren't you sharing?
Prawn cocktail crisps.
Yeah.
If you're eating something, you have to share with the class.
So, the one... the one under the stairs or the other one?
I was thinking of the one that leads to the cellar.
I want to search for
What,
That's
so
another-
going back outside?
No, the one at the back that's leading to under the stairs or whatever.
This one.
I want to search the cabinet.
Okay. So you open the door. Granny's wandering over. Open the door. Out steps
Don't dare say another
a
word.
broom as it just falls out.
Oh my god, I hate
Just clatters on the floor.
out steps. No, out steps a broom. The broom
Yeah.
just takes a step out and then falls.
And when you look inside, you can just see shelves with what looks like dinnerware. You know, you got plates, you got knives, forks, bowls, usual stuff in there. Not expensive. It's general, you know, common dinnerware basically. Some of it's wooden, some of it's pot. You what?
No, I'm in the cabinet.
That's what's just been looked in.
No, I mean the cabinet over there, not that.
What cab? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free if you want to go and have a roll it for investigation. Oh dear, oh dear.
I look in and I forget to open the door.
You open it up. You don't see anything interesting in there. It's all pots and stuff, so you just close it again and move on.
So I'm just like, ooh, pots, useless. And I just close the door.
Yeah. Right.
Alright.
So, where are we going now?
So, this door, I'm guessing, if you wanted to.
Should we go down the cellar?
Yeah, that way.
Wait, no, wait, I thought we were going through and exploring the rest of the floor before going up or down
Yeah.
the stairs.
I look under all the tables.
So, alright, well, we head through the door.
This one.
Because of the stream delay,
Yeah.
I can't see which one you're pointing to, but
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't lead to any stairs.
Yeah, the one that's on this floor still. The stairs weren't behind any doors, so you go through there. And as you go around the corner, you see there are more stairs that just lead back upstairs. So there's a set of stairs that lead up here, and there's a set of stairs in that corner, both leading up.
Alright, so it's just stairs then.
Stairs up,
literally, and that's
or
it.
the
Yep.
cellar door.
We'll go up first.
Alright, yeah, up
Which-
first then.
Which set of stairs are you going up?
What was that all about?
No, I was just eating a snack.
Yeah, we're just being so drunk.
Alright, well, we'll go, I don't know, what do you think, Granny? Which one? You decide.
Probably.
Left.
Left.
Alright, left it is.
Left. What's the one in the corner?
I'm back.
Left. That's not even a direction.
Yes, it is.
Not on here. It isn't. So the one in the corner, the first set of stairs that you saw.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Left is
Let's clear this off. Right. Let me just set the scene.
scene setting.
So what's your marching order going upstairs?
I want to go first this time.
I wanna
No, I'll go first.
No, you're squid.
I wanna rock.
Middle.
I'll go behind Carl.
rock. I wanna rock. Anyway, enough of that rubbish.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go behind Carlton.
You what?
I'm just gonna go behind Carl.
So, as you make your way upstairs. So, who's going first?
Me.
Granny.
Thank
Good
you.
lord.
Oh, sorry, okay, Granny is then. Harrison.
Right. So yeah, you come out into big old room as you go around the stairs. A big old room.
Is it a wine cellar?
That's a lie. It's not a big old room. That's downstairs.
No, it's a tiny new room.
So it brings you out into a corridor. Shut up, you muppet. So there's a corridor that leads down like this, with a door right there, just next to the stairs. What's that one? Cool. 3 doors further down.
We can't see. We've got the map on the screen.
Yeah, well, I'm just setting the scene for you. There's a door here. It's 5 doors actually altogether. The corridor needs to be bigger. When you stop talking with your mouth full, and you know, I might be a bit nicer to you.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
If
Disgusting.
stop talking.
Well, there's not much else to do, seeing as all these flamethrowers are annihilating everything.
Flamethrower. It's an orbital.
Orbital bombardment.
It's an orbital.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So there are technically 6 doors altogether, by the look of it. I had another door around here somewhere. Where did it go?
It just pinned.
Oh, there it is. Yoink. So yeah, there's one door to your left, one to the right, and then some more further down. And it looks to open up
Okay.
into another big room at the end.
Okay. So are we? Wait.
You can't
are we
see
in
anything
a
in that big
or are
room
we
at
in
the
a
end yet.
corridor?
You're in the corridor.
We-
So it was Harrison
Right, we're
first,
in
then
the
who?
corridor.
Then Carlton.
Carlton,
Then me.
Gioa. Where's Felmore going? At the back, I imagine.
Yeah.
Felmore always seems to go at the back.
Yeah.
Right. So how are you doing it up here?
So I think we should go through just like pushing the doors open.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
So there's what
Not looking in
immediately where you are. There's a door on your left and there's a door on the right.
Right. Which way? Which one, Harrison? You're at front.
Left.
Left.
All right.
So you open the door. A mop falls out.
Okay, now we search the right one.
Whoever packed these closets didn't do a very good job on it. So yeah, there's another closet. So it's got a mop, broom, and a bucket in that one.
So now we should search the right.
So the one on the right.
Yep.
Let's see.
Get his dice.
Whoa. So you open the door. There's another little room.
Anything in there?
Is it a picture?
Yeah, I'm just figuring it out.
Are you gonna is there a pig?
So as you open the door, there is an orc just waiting inside, just ransacking through a desk that's at the back.
Stab it in the back.
I shut the door.
And as you open the door, it creaks, turns around, looks at you. Oi! What are you doing? It's initiative time again.
God damn it! I really want to go first.
Oh.
I'm amazed. I got 16.
Oh,
Cool. Right, get them noted down.
Looks like I'm back to the crisps again.
15.
You're right in front of it.
got a 12.
16, 9,
Oh my god, did I
12,
go first?
15. Cool.
I'm going first then.
Someone roll for Felmore. Or do you want me to? I'll do it. I'll do it. 'cause
I can't because I've got +1 on my initiative. So
initiative for Felmore is 17.
Damn it!
Lol. Right, who wants to decide what Felmore?
Me!
Felmore's on 17.
Sees the orc and runs away.
Well, since he was me when I was late last Sunday, I should be him.
Yep.
I should be him. All right then. Let me just load up this character sheet, and then we will.
Crack on.
Come in.
There we go.
All right. So Felmore. Let's see. Hold on, spare with me a moment. It's making me do a captcha because I'm using a VPN. Oh, it's just taking.
To be fair, he'd probably just,
Fireball.
firebolt.
Yeah,
likes- he
okay.
likes Firebolt.
But I might. Oh my god, he's got a background on his. He's got all the fancy stuff.
He might, to be fair, where he's
s-
positioned, 10, 20, 30, he probably won't be able to get to you because he's not got enough movement to get past everyone on the stairs and then get up there. Because he won't be able to
Alright,
occupy the same
okay.
space as someone, so he might just have to wait until there's a bit more room.
Yeah, okay. He'll have to wait then.
Yeah.
No other choice there.
Gioa!
So, can I get to the front of the queue?
I think where you are, you can, but you'll be right face to face with the orc in melee range.
Good.
Oh,
Right?
No, are you sure that's a good idea?
Yes, because I have a strategy.
Okay, right, there you go.
So, I pull out that orc head from one of our earlier battles. I'm just like, I slayed this other orc. Submit now, or you will meet the same fate.
Well then, he was a weak orc, wasn't he?
I put the head
You-
back
you
and I run
could've-
away.
Hey, the DM could have made you use intimidation check.
Yeah, I was getting ready to use to do
He
an
could have,
intimidation saving throw.
but he didn't. I'll let you off with that one because that was just stupid.
It is a 17 to hit.
Ooh, that's a good hit. Is that? It's a hit.
It is 4 slashing damage.
Where's my pencil gone? Don't know where my pencil's gone. Do I like?
I want max damage with this.
I'll have to use a pen instead.
Oh yeah, we're still on the map. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. Boop, there you go. You could have just said we're still on the map, excuse me. Right, so 4 damage. So from your tiny height, you manage to just grab your sickle and it just sort of carves across its chest, and you can see blood just seeping out from underneath its armor.
Can I disengage and
Alright.
run away now?
You can't disengage because that's an action. You can try and run away, but you've got 10, 20. You got 10, 20, 25. You got 5 feet, so you could move to that square, but it would get a reaction strike against you.
Yeah, no.
You know?
I'd rather get hit in the face with a war axe.
Okay, so next up we have.
Carlton.
How do you know? But it is. But how do you know? But it is. Yeah, Carlton. So yes,
I
you
have it all
can.
written down.
You can get to it, Carlton.
Okay. Alright, so, where is Carlton is,
Carlton is
what, behind,
here,
behind Harrison?
behind Harrison.
Or
Yes, behind Harrison.
Right.
So you're
Why not-
third in the queue.
So what I want to do is I want to move in front, I can't move in front of Pierre as well, can I?
To be fair, the door is like there, so you can step inside of the door, and you can move around the back of it, and that
Alright,
would still leave
I'd
room
like
for
to do
Harrison
that
to
then.
get there. Yeah, there you go.
Alright, I'll do that then.
You have done that.
Alright. Okay, backstab with longsword, here we come.
No, there's no backstab.
Yeah, I know, but I'm. And that is a nat 1, fuck.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. So, as you try and grab your longsword in the confined space, you manage to bash your elbow, and reaction just from doing that, it resheathes your sword back into your scabbard.
Funny bone.
And yeah,
Funny bone through the armor.
you messed that one up slightly.
Yeah, you hit your funny bone through the armor.
Yeah, I did.
So, next up
That would be me.
is the orc. It would not be you.
I'm gonna get a friggin' axe to the face.
The orc gets to roll for initiative as well, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get an axe to the face.
So yes, basically, you're gonna get an axe to the face because you were the one. It turned around, looked at the armored, clanking metal thing that managed to hit the wall, and looks down at the little puny thing that managed to scar across its chest, and it's like, "You, I'm having you," and it raises its great.
Just let out a scream, like,
It raises its great axe to bring it down on you.
Ow.
And that is
Yeah, Liam, please
a
don't do that again. That hurt my ears.
7 plus 5, so that's a 12 to hit.
yes, I got an armor class of 14.
Oh, so because you are so small, it raises its axe in these confined spaces, and it just manages to swing down as you dodge to the side. It crashes into the floor.
Tries to hit me basically
No, I'm telling you what it's doing.
No, I'm telling you what I did.
Right, next. Malkuth.
Yes. Okay. Where am I in relation
You
to?
are just still back on the stairs, back here. If you can see, just in front of Felmore. It's a very confined space. Corridors. It's a building fighting. It's not conducive to having much space around it.
I get about as close as I can.
Yep.
And
I mean, you
I'm
could get right
going
up. You could get right up to it. It just means Harrison wouldn't be able to.
well, I'm gonna try something unconventional.
I am surprised.
Oh well, I wanted to do this earlier, so I'm
Do you want
gonna
to get
try
in
it
melee
now.
range, or do you not want to get in melee range?
No, yeah, it's a small room, so I should be fine because of what I'm doing. Because I'm gonna use my last breath of the dragon.
You would
I'm
hit everyone
targeting the
else.
ceiling directly above it.
You would hit everyone else.
Oh,
I'm targeting the ceiling directly above it.
please don't hit me.
Right. Okay.
Please don't hit me with fire.
It's a 5-foot radius. You do know this, don't you?
Please don't hit me with fire.
Let's have a look.
Because like, if I'm targeting the ceiling, they shouldn't be in.
Yeah,
in
but
the
if you're
way,
going
even with
for,
the
depending on
radius.
where you are stood, depends on how you're gonna aim it, doesn't it? Really.
Oh, that's true.
So it depends which one you were planning on using. So that
Well,
one.
if I use the cone, that no, because I need it to be the line.
5 foot wide, so not 5 foot radius, 5 foot wide. So
Yeah, so it won't go up and down, just left and right. So
you could maybe do it.
okay, I'm gonna choose lightning because I'm just trying to destroy the ceiling to collapse a chunk of ceiling on top of it.
Okay. Still does the same amount of damage.
It's not gonna work because it's Sparky.
But of course, you realise if you bring down some. No, it's fine. You go for it.
Yeah, you probably bring down the ceiling on me and Calvin as well.
To
Well-
be fair, I'm in the same room, so if this backfires, it's coming down on all of us.
I mean, technically you're not because of where you stood. So
Really?
yeah,
Yeah,
Huh.
I'm not gonna die.
unless you want to actually be stood in the room.
I'm gonna get hit by rubble, aren't I?
I'm fine where I am.
Right. Okay.
The thing, so
It
wait,
automatically.
since I'm targeting,
Yeah, it automatically fails its check. So you just need to
Yeah,
roll damage.
so I guess, yeah, I'll roll. That's 1 and 2. What was that? Because it's not popping up on my screen, so I have to go into the campaign to see. 3 and 1, so 4.
Yeah, so you zap at the roof and you can see the lightning does hit. And it just scores the roof. You can see cracks appearing and it's blackened where you've done it. But that wasn't a lot of damage.
If you do it again, you can probably make it worse.
Unfortunately,
That was my last one.
She can't do it again. But, you know, it cracked the roof a little bit. I mean, if it did more damage, the actual thing itself, it
Yeah.
might have worked. But it's a sturdy building. It's been built to withstand, you know, all the weather and stuff out here. Right.
Trying to do, because like I wouldn't have been able to do anything else really, so
Well,
I
you
tried
would.
to
You'd
go
been able to stand
unconventional.
up to it and smack it, but you've left that for Harrison. Harrison, you don't have to eat crisps anymore.
Oh, right.
Well, I
right,
didn't
so
think I could because from the looks of things, it's rounded. That's why I was under the impression I couldn't get to it.
Well, you know you wanted to do
Can
that
I
anyway,
get-
so don't even.
get within 5 feet of it.
You can get in the last possible square that was there.
So I am going to Attack with my rapier using
Yerp.
fancy footwork.
Ooh, it sounds interesting.
Uh,
Um,
Yeah, and fancy footwork just means that if I manage to make a melee attack, they can't make an opportunity attack while I'm taking my turn.
okay.
So
All right, I
roll
see.
to
So you
hit,
can
and
sneaky
I missed.
lose it.
It was a 7.
Yeah, you did. So you try your fancy footwork, but because of the enclosed space, you manage to bump into Gioa. It knocks you off balance, and you just completely miss with your hit, stabbing at the floor instead. And you just bends and flicks out, and just laughs at your pitiful attempts at trying to do anything. Get you all. Maybe.
And I don't suppose I can't do my sneak attack now, can I? Because I missed.
No, sneak attack is just extra damage, bonus damage.
Yeah. So, and the only bonus action is to move away, so that's me done.
So what is this fancy footwork? What's it under?
It's under features and traits.
Make a melee
Both of
attack
them
against
are
a
under
creature.
that.
That creature can't make an opportunity attacks against you for the rest of the turn. So it doesn't say if you hit or anything. So you're just gonna move away. Duck out. Are you gonna go down the corridor or back towards the stairs?
Yeah, I might as well go down the corridor to as far as I can get to one of those other doors.
Okay. Yeah, you can get to those other doors. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
And now it's Felmor's turn. So yeah, Felmor can finally move up the stairs and probably firebolt it.
Which is exactly what he's gonna do.
There's a surprise. Can you do the
Alright,
rolls to hit, or do I have to do them?
I think I can. No, I can't roll.
Okay.
But you're gonna have to do it.
It's just one, isn't it? So there's the roll.
Yeah.
So that is a 15 to hit. So yeah, finally he gets up the stairs. He's like, gathers the firebolt, throws it at the orc, smack, right in the face, because that's the only part that he can see. Damage. It's not bad. It's a 7. So it burns its face. The orc reacts terribly. It just recoils from it, screaming. And it's somebody else's go now. Is it? Yes, it is.
So I say to the orc, do you want to be friends?
No.
I can heal you.
No.
Why are you down here?
Gotta kill you.
Okay. Then I cast Charm Person.
You can't.
Why?
Read the spell.
You have strong human and you see in range. It must make a wisdom saving throw. And does so when enemies are fighting it. It fails to save. It is
Pretty sure you can't do it if you're already fighting.
No, it's just with advantage if you're fighting. Yeah, it just has advantage.
Just so with it if you are. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I can't do it, it just has advantage against them.
That's fine. If you want to do that, then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wisdom saving throw for the orc. That's a nat 20. That's a failure. Shrugs it off as it's trying to. You see, you're doing your jiggery pokery thing, and it's just like, no! And readies its axe to literally try and put it through you.
Oh god.
But I think it's somebody before you. Before it,
It's
yeah,
me.
it's Carlton.
Right. Well, after that epic fail, we're gonna do a longsword attack again.
Cool.
Don't worry, I rolled a 1 as well.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't. I actually did well.
And
13.
that is a 13 to hit.
You just managed to hit. So after recovering from bouncing your elbow off, you managed to get your longsword out and just slash down. 6 damage.
That is 6 damage.
Finish it in style.
Okay, so Carlton from behind, after hitting his elbow and being ready to protect Gioa from the axe hit, Carlton sees the firebolt, and as the orc recoils from said firebolt, he gets his sword ready and stabs it right up the arse through its chest.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, as it's preparing itself to slash down on Gioa, you just grab your longsword, shove it where the sun don't shine, and it just gasps in surprise and shock as it sees the point of the sword coming out of its chest. Its eyes glaze over and it just slumps down.
I just splashed with blood then.
Basically, yeah, just pumps out of its chest and just straight towards you. And it slumps down and just slides off your sword. Yeah.
For those of you watching,
It is deceased.
that don't know me, yes, I am extremely immature, and I am actually a primary school teacher. That's my job. So yeah, you can imagine what my lessons are like.
I'm also very immature.
Yes, but you're small, so
I'm allowed to be.
yeah, basically.
Whereas I'm 31 years old.
Right, so it is dispatched from
Right.
this room now. Looking at the time, what do you guys want to do?
I was just gonna say we should probably.
Yeah,
end
that
off.
is a good time to finish.
Because there are many more rooms, including the big one at the end there, to go
Are
through.
we able to
You
like
what?
set up camp in this room for a long rest?
No,
Yeah.
because you've only just had one
There's
like
probably-
2 hours ago.
Probably more. There's probably more orcs around.
You can
anyway.
only
Yeah.
benefit from one long rest in a 24-hour period, and you've had one a couple of hours ago.
You did?
So yes.
Okay.
I forgot that I could transform, and that entire battle after I transformed into a giant poisonous snake.
Touched the long rest button this whole session, so that's why I was confused.
Yeah, but we'd done one the previous, because we had a bit of travelling from there to here,
Ah, yeah.
so you didn't actually need to touch the long rest button, but it's taken 2 days, well, 2.5 days to get here, because it was 60 miles away.
Ah,
So yeah,
48 hours plus.
exactly. So yes, it's been fun. It's been fun again tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We've been suffering a little bit with the heat in here tonight. That moonbeam's crazy. We're gonna have to figure out the
I'm gonna nerf it.
well, we're not gonna nerf it, but you're just gonna have to make sure you got the components for it.
Yeah. Zero questions.
Moon seeds and something else.
Yes, moon seeds.
There
Well, I
was
know what-
two.
What my money's getting spent on when we get back to town?
More daggers. Or more
No,
booze.
a crossbow.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting.
Do we trust a drunk Harrison with a crossbow?
Definitely.
We've been trusting
To
a
be
drunk
fair-
person with throwing daggers, so I think a crossbow
He's
is
never-
not any worse.
He's never had enough to get himself
Yeah,
drunk
that's-
yet.
Yeah, that's true.
That was an
Hey, I'm
awesome
a
session.
sailor, I'm used to it.
Exactly. Right, guys, it has been fun, as I say. We managed to get one clip from tonight, but as I said in Gilded, if we want clips, it takes me a long time to just rewatch the whole stream again. So we're just gonna get them as and when, if we remember to get
Sergio
them as
mentioned
and when.
earlier one during break that was probably funny because we were
Okay.
talking about all the encounters we've had up until now, and then me realizing Malkith had no clothes on the entire time.
Yeah, I was listening to
Yeah.
that entire conversation. Don't you worry. Wireless headphones are amazing. Just gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, Carlton would just think nothing of it and just ignore it because he's righteous. He's a paladin, so you know it's.
And besides,
Although,
I
Dragonborn.
also think nothing of it.
Hey.
I am a child.
yeah, he probably. Carlton,
Yeah, Dragonborn
if
are kind of
he's-
naturally armored.
Carlton would probably just think that's just probably that person's, the way
Way of
they
life.
are, and you know, yeah, it's just it's like being a it's like being a nudist, you know. I ignore, well, or just sort of, yeah, that's a thing, and just think nothing of it.
Yeah, I'm a child. So it's like, nah.
Carlton is kind to those who are
Yeah.
good.
On that note, I think we should probably end the stream. Oh, damn it, I thought I'd updated all these with the level 3 stuff, but clearly I haven't got around to it.
Yeah, I thought you did too.
The overlay, the D&D Beyond interactive overlay, has our updated HP.
Yeah.
But the cards on the actual streaming screen don't. They have
Like if you
Oh,
click
yeah, I can-
on
I can
if you
see
click
that.
on the characters, it tells you the levels too.
Yeah, no. That's on the overlay. That's not. Well, that's on the extension, not on the overlay.
Yeah.
So the hit points are done. I've just not done the levels again. Some of the hit points are done. No, they're not. No, they're not. That's a lie. That is a lie. Let's have a look at this one. What about this one? No, that one's not
Yeah,
done
because
either.
mine should be 24.
It's just not auto. It's just not auto. Captured it from where I saved it. I don't think. Anyway, whatever. Right. Thank you all. If
Anyway,
you're still there watching. Good night. God bless. We'll see you next time, guys. It's been awesome. Here's the next one.
Night.
Laters.